Last time on the wilds of Valandiir, the crown collectors enthralled in battle with an otherworldly force. They had retrieved their friend Maven from the Hells and met with not only the court wizard, but with a member or two of the royal family. Prince Hector greeted you all and accused you of harboring a tiefling outlawed in the Zephan Empire and Valandiir as a whole for countless centuries. It's unclear to what end Prince Hector was here for, but he left after some convincing by you and the court wizard, Xander Feng, that Maven was not a devil or a tiefling, or surprisingly, even purely an elf. She was in fact a so-named diadact, a creature of cosmic constants that exists in a mysterious role within this universe. Seemingly the side effect we know now is that the diadact takes on certain physical traits of whatever realm or dimension it resides, and Maven, having soaked up the energies of the seventh ring of hell, she came back looking a little devilish. Prince Hector was swiftly batted away and was replaced by the much friendlier Prince Hector, who, in recognizing Maven's innocent nature, began to work with you and devised some semblance of a plan to investigate and combat this strange, otherworldly, universal incursion. This entity that at first haunted your visions slowly and sporadically, but now seems to reoccur at an unsettling rate. A red eye amidst a giant cosmic cloud of smoke. Tentacles reaching down through the realms, mysteriously unseen, be able to punch holes through dimensions, like knocking through spider webs. You have seen this happen in person on more than one occasion, to varying degrees of, whatever process it was entailed with this appearance. You fought creatures deposited through these portals and were sucked into them yourself, and recently have learned that their presence sometimes has an essence of magical sapping. You're not exactly sure, or weren't exactly sure, what drew them to these locations until Cobb, when you fought one of these incursions at a magical fane. You learned that once this entity leaves its attack location, that place is now dead magic. An unknown radius, but a member of the party, Kravish, does know that his city, Thesia, was lost due to some kind of appearance of an entity similar to this, falling his floating city to the stones of the Frosted Bluff Mountains. Not too long after, you fought an incursion of your own of strange yellow-skinned attackers who went directly after Prince Hector. It looked grim. He was seemingly stabilized, but still seemed lifeless, carried away by the Black Guard to the palace. The crown collectors gathered, seemingly on their own mission, to the last tiefling city, harboring perhaps some knowledge of this entity. And you found the last remaining yellow-skinned surviving creature before they all fled. Crashed on the street. Kravish tried to connect with its mind psychically, but found this yellow-skinned creature, injured as he was, far superior of a psychic entity than Kravish was, and redirected the energy, blasting your mind with psychic damage, where he was stabbed in the chest twice by two Black Guard who surrounded him and took over. And that is where we left off. Kravish, we'll start with you. The square that you're in, that this little jet bike crashed into, is completely covered in dust and smoke for at least 40 feet in all directions. You guys find yourselves about 60 feet away. There's moderate foot traffic around here. You can see, like, this is like back alley market stalls where they sell, like, you know, raw piglet meat and stuff like that. The six of you find yourselves on the street. And Kravish, you're the closest, as you're the head of the party. Your head is hurting really, really bad, though. You have a splitting headache right now. Mm-hmm. I'm gonna say you're at a temporary point of exhaustion.
Okay.
But you're free to act. What do you do? The crowd is gathering. There's a little bit of panic. People are murmuring, especially right where you're at. They're all looking towards the center of this area.
Okay. I'm just going to try to get folks. Let's clear a path. Let's get to where that creature was.
Okay. All right. Go ahead and make a persuasion check, and you can do it at advantage because Yuno is actually going to lead with his staff, and kind of authoritatively move people away so you can get a direct route. So
28.
28. Yeah, it's like I said, 60 feet to close the distance. The area in the immediate vicinity is considered obscured because of the dust and smoke. This object that this creature was riding is billowing smoke. It's like it was, you know, like it had black tar on fire.
Koza, can you help with all this smoke?
I don't know. Can I help with all the smoke?
Gust or some wind spell to help disperse this stuff out of our way.
Yuno can step in if need be. He can push all this smoke out of here.
There we go. That's the wind. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So how the wind and it creates a 60-foot long, 10-foot wide, like, gust of wind.
Yeah. So how long does that last?
Up to a minute.
Okay, so for a minute, you guys have complete view. But before you said it's 60 feet long, so you're able to cast this, and you blow the wind in the direction to sweep clear the smoke of the scene. The Black Guard, of which there are 7, they're not like the heavily armored elite warriors that patrolled the palace. They're dressed in black and silver plate. It seems, you know, effective and quaint. They carry spears. They, you know, 3 of them spin in your direction as you get about 30 feet from the scene and point their spears at you. It's like, oi, oh, you, stay back.
Like, I straighten up a little bit so that my Knight of the Wild badge is exposed. And I'm like, I'm Argenturoth Kravish of the Crown Collectors, whom you see assembled before you. We are Knights of the Wild and favored heroes of the realm. And I am here to advise you on how to deal with this body.
Yeah. They're gonna kind of look at each other and look at your badge, and they notice that, you know, Baranor, they notice that Iona, and of course Yuno, who is also just right out in front with you. He, by the way, I don't know if you guys remember, he has no longer the blue and silver and black robes. He is wearing a full Dracula regalia. He's got like a spider web, like octagonal collar high above the back of his head, and he's just like it makes him like billow like faint smoke constantly. So he's also flashing his badge while looking like this vampire and floating around, and you all just kind of part ways, and they definitely stand at attention at your side. They're not leaving, and they're staying very close to you, but they're allowing you entry. You see one of the soldiers whisper into an ear, and the other soldier kind of looks at you all, nods to his comrade, and he runs in the opposite direction. You're not exactly sure what he said. They whispered it, and nobody's passive wisdom was able to catch it. So,
all right.
Yeah.
Where's that guy going?
Who are you saying this to?
to the one that leaned over to whisper something. We may not caught what he said, but we saw one belt out. So I'm looking to that guy that whispered something. I'm like, where's he going?
He's going to call the watch. And you see the other two just sort of stiffen up. Like, you can tell that these guys are pretty well trained. And that,
so he's going to get an officer?
He said he's going to get the watch, which means, probably backup. And this, being that this is a high frickin' value target, they're probably eventually going to bring everybody.
Good. Who's the highest ranking among you?
You, from your experience with the Blackguard, you recognize that there's a lieutenant in command of this little squad, of which there are now 6. He's carrying a finer sword. He's carrying an axe, and he's got a big silver badge on the left of his armor. And none of the rest look like that. So,
okay, so I'll just look at him at Lieutenant. Wonderful. If we could get your assistance, and can we get this body out of public view? Let's find one of these buildings or homes, get him in there so that we can get this out of public view.
The lieutenant just sort of he kind of grips the pommel of his sword, not in a threatening way, just sort of rests his palm on it and saunters his way over to you. He's a kind of a large, robust half-orc. He's got one missing tusk, but the other one is capped with silver, and he's missing an eye. He's got an eye patch underneath his open Blackguard helmet, and he just kind of he's not quite as tall as you, but you don't really get it doesn't take too tall to be intimidated by you physically, because height isn't always everything. This guy's very wide.
Sure.
And he just sort of walks his way over and he says, "So you're the crown collectors, huh?"
Yes, we are.
And he's going to sort of right over his shoulder, he's going to snap one of his soldiers who's carrying kind of a big satchel. And he's gonna kind of whisper in his ear about the body, and he's gonna say, "Well, we can do this at the palace itself. We can quickly transport everybody there, or if you wish to do this at a nearby facility, there's a list of approved locations that we can take him to nearby." And your passive sort of insight tells you he's listening to you, but he's not someone that thinks that what he views you as a civilian should be telling him what to do. So he's listening to you.
Okay. All right, buddy, I'm not trying to tell you how to do your job, okay? I'm just trying to help out, and my experience in such matters tells me that time is important. We have ways that we can interrogate beyond the grave. We also have amongst our midst a grave cleric that can make appropriate arrangements with the body to help prevent further physical and spiritual decay if need be for continued interrogation. But
so
I need your help in order to make this happen.
He's constantly leaning into a blue stone on his shoulder that you've seen before, a communication stone. He's leaning into it constantly because it's kind of glowing occasionally, like flickering. And he's half listening to you as he's also looks like he's taking orders and reporting. You guys have sort of been clearing the area and chatting for the past maybe 3 minutes. So within 3 minutes, 4 more soldiers have arrived, and they are now totally clearing the square. No one is allowed in here. And the captain just he stiffens up a little bit. But he acquiesces, and they're gonna kind of whatever you need sort of mentality. Although they don't seem, you now are hearing chatter. There is a rumor amongst the ranks: the prince is dead. There's also a little bit of argument to that. There's a little bit of debate, and it seems like it's getting real sort of tumultuous in the city. On the streets, people are whispering and they can see you. So you're in this area now alone, aside from like 8 or 9 blackguard, including the lieutenant, who introduces himself as Athaset.
Lieutenant Athaset, okay.
Yep.
All right, so we're pretty much alone right now as we speak.
Yes, but there are tall buildings, and the soldiers are not clearing the buildings out, and you can see people just sort of looking down from like 3 or 4 stories at the most.
Okay, well,
from these little windows.
This would work. I mean, as long as there's not just a huge den of looky-loos right around us.
Yeah.
I'm going to turn to, you said Lieutenant Athaset, the half-orc.
Correct.
And I'm going to say, here's the situation. I'm leveling with you. As I said previously, we have ways of to be able to interrogate beyond the grave. The drawback is that it can only be done in the language native to the body. We already know that this creature does not speak common, so I am going to have to use additional magics to allow myself to speak in his language. I request your permission to use additional magics to allow you to witness, so that you're not just taking my word for it. I can cast a comprehend languages spell on you. It will cause you no physical or mental harm, but it will allow you to interpret correctly various languages. It is only temporary.
Yeah. To the lieutenant, I'll have him make a little insight decision. Yeah, he feels you can tell that he sort of relaxes in the shoulders, in the neck a little, and he kind of paces a little bit as they are all. You can see them building a sort of a tent out of black silk, and sort of there are still people rushing the scene. We'll say there's another 4 imperial sort of officers of some kind arriving, and keeping the scene sort of clear and discussing, and looks like people are pointing at the body and of the crashed jet bike and the damage and the rubble. It's been past a minute. Your gust of wind is over, and it begins to fill with smoke again. And you can see one of these Imperials maybe wields magic as he also sort of pushes and contains, like almost like a bubble that grows darker, like it's infinitely filling with smoke, and right over the source of the billowing. And they sort of create a barrier so that nobody really can see in there. So you guys can go in and out. It's about 30 feet across.
So I'm going to turn to Yuno and ask for the dagger of Speak with Dead.
So he's going to reach into his bag, and as he's fishing around, Yuno's going to say, we can also cast darkness, but seeing in there will be difficult. Who of us has devil sight? I know Reaper did, but she's not here anymore. Or some kind of true sight, or something like that, that can see through darkness.
I have 10 feet of blind sight, for what that's worth.
I think that means you can what? You can hear them?
I can, like Daredevil for 10 feet's worth.
Yeah, that's... So he's like, all right, maybe not darkness then?
Probably not.
Okay.
I mean, we're in a makeshift tent now, right? You said?
Yeah. Okay.
I mean, I think this will work well enough for what we're doing. I mean, if we want to move him into another room, into an indoor facility, I mean, that's okay. But what does everybody else think? Do you think we're good as we are?
Seems all right. Unless we're worried about someone listening in, but they'd have to speak the language.
Yeah.
All right. So why don't you guys help out, make some degree of a perimeter along with the remaining guards.
Yeah.
You know,
they can go to about doing that.
Yeah, just try to create some degree of a perimeter, keep all the looky-loos out. You know, you hang with me here.
Okay.
Sunny and Maven take up one whole side. I can't see anything from that side.
Eleanor will position herself near the mouth of the tent, just because that way if there's anything goes wrong outside, she can deal with it, but also if anything goes wrong with the corpse, she knows corpse stuff.
Uh-huh.
You know dead people?
You know dead people. I know dead people. Alright, so Maven is doing what now?
She's temporary perimetering. She can
Okay,
be just outside with Sunny, so that she's not, obtrusive.
Right, and how does Maven look? Are you got your hood up, your skull mask on, like the whole thing? Are you fully concealed?
Yeah, incognito mode, yeah.
Okay. Well, you look a little out of place because you're like perpetually shedding a layer of like smoke away from you as you move. Still,
Okay.
it's only been like, I don't know, 2 hours since you guys got back from the Hells, and yeah. So Sunny, however, is not. It's not real late in the day, so he is being as less luminous as he can. All of his little fires are out. He's not running around in his jets. He's walking on all fours. He's tall, he's imposing, but he's not glowing anywhere. He's just a little glittery, and it's hard for you to be incognito riding this this giant fire drake.
I don't think I would be riding him necessarily, but...
Okay. Well, then I'll say wherever he is, everyone's looking at him and not you.
Perfect. I'm standing on the opposite side.
You do not detect any other of these creatures. The other two, one on the other jet bike, and the one on the giant red dragon, had disappeared into the clouds above, and with a flash, the cloud also dissipated. And this creature, for some reason or another, was the only one to fall from the sky. Let's get a persuasion check from pretty much the entire party.
Persuasion check, you said?
Yeah.
Alright.
Is this the sort of thing I can guidance myself on, or just straight persuasion?
Yes, absolutely. You are on high alert right now. Things
Okay,
have happened.
The 13.
You don't need a performance check. You need a persuasion.
Oh,
check.
it clicked the wrong thing.
It's
Okay, well, I guess
Damn.
instead of 14.
Yeah. You see that there are people that are at the perimeter that have been pushed back. I mean, they haven't like cleared a quarter-mile radius. It's about 40 feet, maybe 60 feet of really nobody there, and then this tent, and the whole thing is surrounded by guard. Maven, in your patrol of the perimeter, you do see who the party met up with at the beginning of this foray into the city. You see Daunt. He's sitting on the peripheral of this. It looks like he's whispering to someone else as everyone sort of watches what's going on. But that's not crazy because there are people filtering in and out of here from almost the entire city. Something has happened here, and the denizens of Haven's Crest are no stranger to drama, and love to be an audience to it. So Daunt rests up against a sort of a light pole. He looks concerned, and he catches sight of Sundancer, and he just looks at him like, whoa, that's crazy, what the hell is this thing, as everybody is. So I would say that in this moment you have a pretty good bead on him and everybody in this area. Kravish is going to kind of hand you the dagger and say, do you want to use it? Do you want me to use it?
I'll use it. That's okay.
Okay. The lieutenant, he kind of takes off his helmet, and you notice that he's bald, but he has sort of a mohawk going from the middle of his forehead all the way up in this kind of flat mohawk of black hair that's been shaved real close, and he has these twin tattoos on either temple that sort of ride that empty space on his head of this this horse on either side, at least like a horse head. And very, it looks kind of just blacked out, but the line work is nice. And he just sort of stands and holds his helmet and says, "I served with Prince Hector in the last incursion war. That's probably 15 years ago. I heard he's down. I heard he's not doing well. And I heard you were there. I also heard that you guys are pretty capable adventurers and have dealt with some pretty harsh shit. This thing knows what happened to the prince and why. Let's find out." Okay. And he's going to step before the yellow-skinned creature.
I am going to ask him to sit with me, and I am going to spend 10 minutes to cast Comprehend Languages as a ritual upon him.
All right. Yep.
And then after that, I'm going to use the one of the stored spell slots in my gloves to cast Tongues.
Okay. So this creature that just lays where it is he's resplendent in silver armor that's been sort of peeled away by friction as he slammed into the stone, building side that he landed on when he careened out of the sky. So his armor is sort of peeled away. There's deep gash wounds in his chest, his neck, with just this yellow, acrid-looking blood leaking from his wounds. It's sort of not dried but coagulated at the sites, and it's almost like it instantly starts to smell. It's only been about maybe a half an hour of you guys kind of messing around over here, and his eyes are glassed and faded and foggy as his mouth lays slack open. There's 2 huge sword wounds in his chest. Okay. And the lieutenant just sort of stands, and you see him kind of look around like he's hearing something around him. And he's like, "Oh, I can now understand everything around me. I can hear quite a ways." And he's like, "Please continue."
All right. One last thing. I'm reaching into my bag to pull out a mask. This mask will allow me to conceal my identity so that he won't think of me as one of the attackers.
Yep.
The nasty side effect is that you may forget who I am, because I can't control that effect or zero it in on any one particular thing. Trust my compatriot to be able to reassure you that I am indeed still me.
Okay. Is just kind of going to turn and tap him on the shoulder as he kind of billows black smoke and just say, "You're going to forget who he is." Ooh.
Yeah, you can trust me, as he's billowing dark smoke looking like, the coming of the devil.
Yeah. He's just going to kind of shrug his shoulder like, "Okay, all right, whatever."
Yeah, so I'm going to go ahead and don that mask of deception that I gathered all those years ago.
Yeah, so it is a flat, sort of very vaguely humanoid, flat porcelain mask that Castellan wore from the Breakers that you took from him and you slew them all. And it sits in your hand, and it's solid as porcelain, but it feels like oily on the surface. And as you bring it towards your face, you feel it almost turn almost gelatinous as it stretches across your face and covers it and takes on the shape of your head, but covers it in a porcelain shell. And you all watch this white porcelain just display these swirling filigreed images. Not like, yeah, thank you. I knew you were going to put Rorschach. Not quite like Rorschach. More elegant, more of a finesse in its design as these images snake across. And I'm going to need everybody that's in there to make a wisdom saving throw, including the lieutenant. He got a natural 20. Hello. Hello. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, we got you.
Yeah.
Oh, I need a. Did you not hear what I wanted about a wisdom saving throw? You didn't hear that part?
I heard you.
I'm not inside, so.
I'm not inside.
Yeah, I'm not inside.
Yeah, the only people in the tent, if there are any other guards, the only other people inside the tent are Aphoset, myself, and unless there are any guards in there.
Fair enough. Yeah. So, the lieutenant looks at you and kind of cocks his head and goes, "Huh, clever trick. Must admit I'm having trouble recalling your name." And you see, just like completely glaze over and looking at you going, whoa, okay, this is weird. And he's going to look at Kravish and say, I swear my friend Kravish was standing right here. Can you run out there and get him, please? And
I'll speak to him. It's me, good buddy. Trust me.
Yeah, and the effect is dropped for and he just kind of blinks and goes, "Oh, that's awesome! Wow!" He's like, "That really works."
It really does.
Yeah. Okay, so you are now covered, and you can hear him. You can hear him speaking behind the mask as and the lieutenant kind of just sort of sit and wait. And Lieutenant says, "All right, what's next?"
Next, I take this little poker. I stab him. His spirit shall appear, and I will have the opportunity to ask 5 questions.
All right.
During the time his spirit is active, I must insist that everyone remain silent. Because if he hears a spontaneous question being asked, he will answer it and will rob us of one of our 5 questions we can ask. So please maintain silence as much as possible.
So the lieutenant, he's going to kind of roll his eyes a little bit and say, "And I suppose that I'll just tell you whatever he says. Just repeat him word for word, and I don't think that will really ruin anything. I'm the only one that's going to be able to understand him, right?"
You and I, unless anyone else speaks this alien creature's language.
All right, so is going to be...
You're here to witness and record.
Yeah, is going to be a little annoyed that he won't be able to understand anything anybody's saying, so he's going to just
sort of... Paranormal psychic bond.
Okay, so
I can.
I'm not role playing. I'm not role playing this game of telephone.
Right. I understand, but through Baranor, he'll be able to. We'll be able to.
He said that the corpse said this.
Yeah, Kravish said the corpse said this. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So So everyone seems kind of know what their role is. Yuno is going to use telekinesis to kind of prop the creature, who he's been rolling investigation checks and history checks behind the scenes here, and recognize these indeed as none of you really, I don't think, know what this creature is. This is a Githyanki warrior. It is a creature from another realm of existence. Some call it the Astral Sea, the Great Gossamer, the realm of dreams. That is their home. I don't think any of you really even know what the Astral Sea is too much. Perhaps Maven would know.
To us, correct? He's already laid down his underworkings.
Yeah, he's been whispering and figuring that out, and he just kind of like finishes up a point he was trying to make about where they were from as this kind of started. So, yeah, who's got you have the dagger?
I do.
Okay. He's gonna sit him up a little.
Okay. I will plunge it into him.
Okay. You take this bone chiseled into a Grim Reaper on the handle dagger and stab this fresh corpse in the guts. The dagger sticks hard and it gets almost stuck inside. You can see where the dark little nooks and crannies of the carving begin to glow with a green energy. And the Githyanki warrior, you can see the energy sort of travel up his torso slightly until it comes out of his eyes with a faint green glow, and out of his open mouth, which when it speaks, you hear it suck in a breath full of air. The Githyanki appears in a semi-living state. Kravish, it looks at you.
Mm-hmm. What was your purpose in coming here?
Now, speak with dead. I believe if they consider you an enemy, they do not have to disclose everything, correct? Let's take a look.
That's correct. But he doesn't know who I am, though, because I got the mask on.
And he just sort of, you see him snarl, his nose sneers, his teeth are bared, and he hisses in your direction. Zastras nevashnare kurvisnera. And you hear the lieutenant, Athelstat, he just kind of leans back and says, some of the curse words I didn't recognize, but he basically told you that you should excrement into your hands, and something about making sure the thorns are in there or something. It was very vile and not pleasant.
Yes, it was quite creative.
And he just kind of, you see that light in its eyes dim slightly.
Mm-hmm.
Yuno says, I don't know if asking it questions about what I'm sure was a clandestine mission here. I don't know if it's going to give up any info. Maybe we could ask it something general that we could learn from all of this. Maybe, I don't know, maybe ask how they came here, or, maybe they could tell us. I don't know if asking it what its purpose was, it would tell that to anybody but its own folks.
Mm-hmm. Let's see. Can you please repeat for me the speech that your dragon rider spoke before landing the final blow to Prince Hector?
Let me see. Would it be appropriate for you to make a persuasion check? I think so. Because you get a feeling, and so does the lieutenant, and pretty much as well. This creature doesn't look trusting of anyone in life. Seems to not trust very much.
28.
In general. 28, okay. You see his chest puff out and sits up a little more and looks to the sky and says, Kithrak Vitosh.
divine purpose, and that the lowlings of the material plane grovel for the services of the gift. We stab at thee for the prince.
And you see that light as almost a holographic memory spawns from the light in his eyes of that lead dragon rider stabbing down, and those who speak Draconic heard at the end for the prince seems to line up.
Can you please enlighten us and fill us in on what prince the dragon rider was referring to?
And you see him kind of shrink a little, almost like he was real proud of this rendition he gave you, and all of a sudden you hit him with something of a curveball, and he just says,
Don't remember names. Kithrak told us the prince was in service to the prince. No names.
you see that light, that green light, dim considerably. His arms go dead at his side. He slumps against the wall behind him, and you can barely see that light in his eyes anymore. It's a little brighter in his mouth.
Okay, I'm mentally projecting all of this out, and I'm like, okay, suggestions?
Yeah, I think Baranor and Koza, I think you're connected. And Maven, are you? I don't know. I don't remember if he connected Maven too.
I think Koza was the only one that wasn't connected.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, Koza's not connected. So, Koza, what are you doing as this is happening? You can see that your comrades disappeared into the tent. It's been about 5 minutes, maybe longer, since this whole started. What are you doing in the crowd? Are you with anybody else? Are you on your own? What are you trying to accomplish out here? You're kind of just wandering through the crowd.
I would probably assume that the prince got carted away, so he's probably going to be incommunicado for a minute. So I was going to follow everybody else.
Yeah, you have been. It's been about a total of maybe 20 minutes, 30 minutes. You guys have been here for a minute. So what have you done in this whole time to sort of deal with what's happened?
Is the jet bike too crowded to get close to?
The jet is in the tent.
Okay, and I go investigate the jet bike.
Okay, so you throw open the curtains, and there's a couple of blackguard on either side of it. They recognize who you are, and they let you in. You throw open the curtains, Kravish. The inside of this tent is now filled with light momentarily as huge Koza, who just sort of takes up almost all of the extra room at this portion of it, crosses the tent, and you step into it, Koza. It's a large tent. Like I said, it's about 30, 35, 40 feet across. And the jet bike is surrounded by a couple of guards who have their back to those interrogating the Gith. And you just see this crumpled bike. I say bike. You see this crumpled triangular, kind of elongated pyramidal shape of kind of wound silver that looks like 100,000 windings of cable along the edges that just form this shape, and there are placed large teardrop and oval red rubies all over it. However, it is crumpled, and several of these red gems have shattered. You see at your feet a large pile of kind of gem fragments near the crash site. And it's smoking heavily, except it's being contained by one of the mages that are standing over here. So that is what you see. It's light years away as far as outside of your normative, what you know as far as objects or transportation or magic. It's just baffling. It's like looking at a different dimension. It's hard to make sense of really what it is, other than he was standing on the back of it and it was zipping him around.
All right. Well, then I think at that point, if I can't find anything useful, I'm gonna just rejoin the group and sort of watch what's happening.
Okay. You see Sonny. Doesn't look like he's moving. He's on the other side of the square. You don't see Maven. Looks like she might have dismounted. Baranor, you and Luna are on the opposite side of the city, the north end, and you're keeping an eye on the crowd as well. Is there anything specifically that you're doing? I believe the pups are in the ring, correct?
Yeah, pups are in the ring.
Yeah, so you and her are sort of walking around. People are giving you a wide berth, but you're walking amongst the people. Is there anything particularly interesting you're looking for? Or
not really. Kind of just like, kind of eyeing the crowd, seeing who's like, what kind of gauging what their expressions are. Kind of gauging whether they're surprised, curious, suspicious, maybe a little, checking to see if anybody's unsurprised by this.
Yeah. And what about Luna?
Luna is mainly just following my lead. I'm keeping her pretty close. Having her sniff around, but nothing too major. Trying to keep her on a low profile right now. Kind of low tasking.
So her eyes have returned to their glowing blue. However, they flash orange with a jet of sort of not quite flame, but like a thick, heavy smoke that sort of gets pushed out with it. Maybe blinking or something. But she kind of she's different after her return from the Hells. And with each of these flashes of her eyes, her blue stripes go orange. And you hear in your head sort of a whining sound that, emotionally connected to Luna. You can tell she's worried about something. She doesn't seem like she hears anything.
She can't hear anything? Like anything at all?
Nothing is like getting her attention in the crowd. She seems just genuinely worried as she scans around. She's smelling. She's parting the sea that is this market square. She's pretty big for a wolf, and most people don't like wolves that close to them.
Yeah. Okay.
And you can hear, I'll just take an insight check from you as you really kind of get a vibe off of the crowd. You're kind of listening to snippets of conversations as you wander through.
Not stronger suits, actually. I don't get anything.
You don't know shit.
Jesus, you are so worried about that dog.
Yeah, apparently.
Yeah, it's you're taking everything at face value. Your passive perception, however, is pretty high, so you're able to hear what everyone's saying. You're not exactly sure how people feel about it because you're only getting little snippets. Like you hear whispers. Prince was attacked. creatures from the sky, dragon. You hear a crap ton of talk about dragon. Did you hear there was a dragon? I didn't hear there was a dragon. I heard that kind of thing. I was there, and it's like, you hear people talking. You also hear chatter about the crown collectors being in town. Who, some people are like, who are they? Other people are like, they were the champions of the Ellington Classic, and they blah 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 blah. They just got heralded in the castle by the emperor for taking back some distant outpost in the east or some shit. Like, that's what you hear intermingled, little snippets of that kind of chatter. You also hear aggravation of this kind of whole area being cordoned off, and a little bit over there being very inconvenient and stuff like that. Eventually, you kind of round to where Maven is and Sundancer, and you kind of see what Maven sees as someone who isn't toddling around or whispering to people in heavy conversation. You see this dark-skinned, ponytail wearing, goatee. He looks like a kind of like a swashbuckling kind of guy. This guy that you've seen that everybody else seems to know, Daunt. He's leaning against a post. He's watching the scene real close. He's looking like around the crowd, just kind of taking it all in.
I don't think he was in this form when I met him.
I don't know. Did you meet him?
Yeah, he left. He announced to me that he was leaving.
Yeah, he was okay. So at some point, when he was making himself recognized at the beginning, I don't know, 2 or 3 sessions ago, he went through a couple of shapes. He went through Olivia. He went through the blue-skinned humanoid. Yeah, he went through it. So you, and then he went back to this form, which seems to be some sort of a base form for him. And he's you recognize him as this guy.
Yeah. I know of him. I've only met his Olivia persona before.
Yeah. Yeah. You guys did sort of spend an evening together drinking and swapping stories, so he's not a stranger to you.
Yeah. Hey, how's it going?
He kind of snaps his gaze to you. He's lazily looking at the crowd. He's like, better know, right?
Yes.
Hi, good to see you, mate. And he's just sort of like he looks like he's swatting in your direction, and you instinctively put your hand up, and he just catches it with like a predator meme snap of your hands, and gives it a little shake and lets it down and turns towards the crowd. He's like, "So, mate, what do you make of all this? This attack? I hear you were right in the middle of it, weren't you?"
Yeah, I point over yonder to where the attack happened, and as opposed to the crash. Like, yeah, we were right over there.
And yeah, it's fresh for you as far as what just happened. You find yourself talking to Don, and he starts going on how he was somewhere else in town, walking around looking for a white wine, and all this commotion happened, and quickly the streets got filled up, and he made his way around as best he could. He went towards where the most guards were, which happened to end up being here, and after everything died down, he just sort of hung out and kind of watched stuff, and the two of you just sort of he kind of like goes side by side, and you kind of both cross your arms, kind of scanning the crowd, and he sort of slides into a not really a sidekick, but definitely some sort of a comrade kind of a role here with you as the crowd becomes well known to you. You don't really see too much riffraff.
Yeah.
There's plenty of guard walking around, keeping the peace, and it's crazy out there. People are murmuring and talking and pointing and stuff like that. And eventually, Maven, you kind of wander over, and Sunny is behind you by about 10-15 feet, and at that point everyone just sort of parts ways, and
He's good for that.
yeah.
I don't know. She's just gonna nod at them and keep an eye on what's going on. See if she finds anybody suspicious, like more than just the normal amount of curious, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Go ahead and make a perception check and an insight.
Perception is 13, and insight is 14. Rolled a 5 and a
Maven.
6. I rolled a 5 and a 6. I need to maybe use
I would say that Sunny's presence sort of bringing attention, heavy attention, and he's like, you're not really able to get away from him. He kind of stays close to you. He doesn't trust these people, and as Baranor is connected emotionally to Luna, so are you with Sunny. And he's walking around, you just get anxiety from him. He's kind of like a spooked dog. You don't see him growling at anybody. However, you do hear this very deep, and Baranor at this point, you hear it too, this very deep, distrustful growl, a bellowing bass rumble that you can just barely hear under the presence of your skin, and it's a distrustful growl from him as he walks around, and you get about 30 feet away, and he sort of scuttles a little faster. He is huge, by the way. He's not technically huge. He's still large, but just barely.
He's extra large.
He's just a tiny thing. You're scared.
Yeah. Yep. Definitely. With that in mind, the fact that you've got attention on you because he keeps walking over to you, you're not really catching anything. In fact, you're feeling a little useless out here, as you're not really getting any secretive vibes off of anyone because everyone's looking at you, and it's hard to spy on someone who's looking at you.
Hey, how y'all doing?
We're doing good. Maven, maybe you should go back to the tent.
Just go stand in front of the tent so nobody can get in. Just stand in front of it.
Okay.
Tent. That sounds like.
Sunny stands on one side of the doorway, pushing the black guard away, who just sort of backs up and loses his balance a little and looks up and Sunny just kind of looks down very gently and blows these 2 columns of smoke out of his nostrils that sort of hit the soldier in the chest, and the soldier definitely backs away slowly. Yeah, the 2 of you now guard the entrance.
Don't worry about it.
Kervish.
Yo!
The Githyanki warrior lays weaker than before, the light dim in his mouth. You have 2 questions left.
I do. All right. You guys carried your attack out with such amazing precision. How did you guys know that Prince Harold was going to be there at that particular moment?
Do you mean Prince Hector?
Prince Hector, yeah, him. Prince Hector.
I feel like I should keep Harold and have him go, who?
Yeah.
He kind of like gasps.
Worm Rider Kithrak gives us orders, we follow. Kill the prince for the prince.
The light goes out in its eyes until just a faint, dim flicker from the back of his throat lights up behind his teeth. He is now lying flat on the ground. Yuno's telekinesis has waned. He lies flat on the ground, completely motionless. Only his chin gently lags and quivers. Okay.
All right, so everybody else is hearing this. So I'll belt out. 1 question left, guys. Any thoughts?
Do we ask if there are any more targets that we should be worried about?
That's one potential. Anybody else?
Yeah, that's potential. He may not reveal it, but we can ask that. That's one possible one. My only other potential one is if he knows how Kithrak, the rider, is communicating with... I mean, he's clearly communicating something. If we can find out how he is getting those communications.
That's another potential. Anybody else?
Udo is going to defer to the group.
I would ask where they came from or where they were going afterwards, but I'm guessing the Astral Sea is probably going to be his vague answer.
Yeah.
More than likely, yeah. All right, I'm going to just kind of address the guard. I'm going to ask the guard to lean in, and I'm going to just ask him to just take a few steps over, just try to get out of earshot of the Gith, and I'm just going to kind of gently whisper to him, okay, you've heard all of this. Do you have any suggestions for our fifth and final question?
He's going to kind of rub his chin and kind of rest his forefinger on his silver-tipped tusk as he kind of picks it like a, kind of an anxiety habit.
Mm-hmm.
And he's going to say, well, what do we know? We know the Gith are from somewhere else. We could ask him where he comes from, but does that really matter?
And we've already kind of figured that out.
Yeah, he doesn't seem to want to tell us who sent him, except for his lieutenant, his person in charge that came through here on the dragon.
Yeah. We've also been able to clearly tell this was a targeted job.
Well, and he's going to run this creature's pockets and come up short. Interesting, this thing does not even have a belt. It doesn't carry a pouch. There's no coins from any land, wherever it comes from. It's actually difficult to there's no kind of identifying marks at all on this creature's entire body. So yeah, he just kind of like gets frustrated and he's like, I think that maybe, I don't know. Does it know? Maybe since it doesn't know who you are, it doesn't know that you're not one of its comrades. You could maybe ask if there were further orders or something. That's what I would do.
I'll bounce that to the group. Although that kind of dovetails with that question of were there any other targets. I mean, another thing, I don't know if they ever saw their benefit, if they ever saw the contact. I don't know if he could describe.
Yeah, because the Dragon Rider was probably the only one who...
Only point of contact, yeah.
Yeah, and unfortunately, if we asked where we could find the Dragon Rider, it would either be on the Astral Sea, or it wouldn't tell us where on the material plane the Dragon Rider might be found.
Yeah. So everybody who's in the tent, and everyone who's connected to Baranor, I want you to all make insight checks, please. As this is all being telephone gamed around.
22.
24 from Iona. 14 from Koza. Koza, I don't think Koza is connected. I think you're still out in the middle of the group, but I can run that as you're watching the crowd, and you're also kind of a little rattled by what happened. This is messed up. You've met Prince Hector a couple of times. He seemed like a nice guy, and it kind of reminds you a little bit of your past, that you had someone violently taken from you. You imagine the royal family right now is probably not very happy. News is probably hit already, and they're probably screaming in that castle of theirs. And you reach out with your heart to Neela, your daughter, back at Stonehelm Keep. That's kind of where you're at. Those of you rolling rather high, I'm going to have roll his insight. He gets a whole frickin' 13. Yeah, you kind of This attack was highly, highly coordinated, and you're all feeling just thwacked by the raw audacity of what happened. That this highly important person, heir to the throne of the Zephan Empire, was targeted and taken down surgically by these otherworldly beings. You can't help but feel tactically unmatched and caught off guard. As a matter of fact, those of you really kind of alone with your thoughts and thinking about it are feeling a sting of frustration at the situation and at yourselves. Not that you could have possibly prevented it, but the fact that you probably couldn't have prevented it is enough to annoy you. Kravish, you have one question left.
One question left and not much time to do it. All right. Last second thoughts, guys. I'm in my final minute here.
Behind the tent, those of you on the outskirts of the tent area see these individuals strolling through the crowd towards the tent. They make their way. Those of you close are actually, no one's close enough. It seems like they arrived and everyone's kind of away from them by at least 20, 30 feet. Maven, they are familiar to you, and with enough authority in mind, you recognize they're allowed to be here, and you, I would assume, grant them entry. The tent swings open. Kravish, you spin around as you contemplate what to ask these creatures. He just kind of shrinks a little and backs away a couple, and you come face to face with this group of gentlemen.
Oh, God.
7 Inquisitors, with the Grand Inquisitor himself, Ephraim Tolstag, flanked by his men in their pretty metal skull helmet motif, take up the rest of the room in this tent. You hear from beneath the helmet, the skull mask, Ephraim speak. Ask him, Dragonborn. Ask him the name that was paid to do this. The prince's life. It hangs by a thread. Do what you must, say what you must. Find what or who is behind this. And you see all of them kind of rest a hand on their blades, which is weird because you know that you're not committing a crime. Seems like a lot of emotion is driven by this threatening display.
All right, so
the Inquisitors spread out as you think, and
didn't we ask this already?
Yeah, he's making it clear. Just find out who it is.
Oh my God.
Yeah, we already asked what prince was your dragon rider referring to, and he said he doesn't remember the name. It just says he was in service to the prince. I will look towards them and said, we already asked. He said he does not know the name of who hired them, and this lieutenant can confirm that.
Olstag just stands stoically, his hands at his sides, balled in fists. His men just sort of sneer at you through their own helmets.
I mean, we could try and ask where to find the fucking rider, but that's that's the guy we're going to need to talk to.
I mean, where to find the rider might just be astral plane, but we could ask how to contact the rider, and that might get us more of an answer. Like, if we ask how to get in contact with him, there may be a way.
Good call.
And then we could potentially set up a meeting.
I'm going to ask that very question. How can we come in contact with your dragon rider? How may we communicate with him?
You see some hesitation on the part of the Gith. So I'm going to need you to roll a persuasion check at advantage. as this creature seems to resist this question initially. As everyone in this room is also sort of leaning in.
That 33.
33. It's almost like the Githyanki warrior is struggling for a way to dodge this question. Looking around the room, there's very little movement from its body, but its head snaps side to side. And with the last little bit of its breath, its voice ever so raspy, you see its index finger rise from its hand, which is, otherwise lifeless.
The ring of communication.
And you see his teeth snarl under his curled lips as his finger goes limp. You look at it and see that there is a very thin silver band with a red ruby on it. And his hand goes limp. His head cocks to the left as you hear his voice and breath leave him. The light flickers from his mouth, and he lays there motionless and begins to quickly kind of decompose into what looks like an ashy substance on his skin.
Okay, so as he does that, as his arm falls, I catch it, and I'll slide that ring off.
Yeah, it's too small for your finger, but it has a glowing red jewel on it. Looks an odd cut. It's not a round or smooth gem. It's got facets on it, but it's not a shape you've ever really imagined a ring would have. And it's got a little silver, very shiny, maybe not silver, highly polished band.
Okay. And as he starts to decompose. All right.
So let me see. The lieutenant definitely heard that. So he's going to stand up and say, "Hold on, not so fast." And he's going to kind of catch you by the wrist, Kravish, and he's quite strong.
Oh, yeah.
So you can either fail your strength save or make one. He's got you by the wrist.
Oh, yeah, he knows. He's on the same boat. I don't resist.
He's gonna hold you by the wrist. He's gonna feel you loosen. He's going to loosen. He's gonna give you a nod like, "Sorry, but this is Imperial business, and this is now Imperial property." And Tolstag, he just kind of stomps over and says, "Indeed it is. Well done, Crown Collectors." And he's going to take the ring from the lieutenant, and obviously you are let go. Either that's the that's as hostile as it got. Didn't feel great. Didn't feel great to have your wrist snapped like that. But Tolstag just sort of turns away from you slightly and says, "I have been told by multiple reports that the Crown Collectors are not an active suspect in this case." And he takes another half step away, and you can feel sort of a tension kind of loosen in your shoulders, and then he stops. "Though you may be remanded at some point in the future for witness testimony." And he starts to leave. And just as he goes to leave and open the tent door, he looks back one last time. "The prince does not respond, but he lives. Well done, adventurers." And he's going to depart. His underlings, who are all equally tall and resplendent with kind of macabre armor, kind of give you one last look. You see a couple of them kind of like bounce on the balls of their feet a little as they leave. Maybe give you kind of, if they could underneath their armor, give you the middle finger. But they all 7 of them eventually depart the tent. Lieutenant.
Well, that's
opposite.
Other the morale patrol is left.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
yeah, I mean, can I say something to them as they leave? I promise I'm not going to start anything, anybody.
I'll be the judge of that. Speak on.
Okay.
Let's do it.
Yeah, because they will have had to basically push past me to get into the tent because I was standing right outside it, and Iona is just no. So as they leave, Iona is very deliberately not caring about how their whole ultra goth setup, and is going to ask them, "Does the body require preservation?"
And he's the lead character who it stands about. I mean, those of you who know who Tolstag is, he is a very pale elf with short, dark gray hair. He has a gnarly scar going from his forehead to the bottom of below his right eye to his cheek. He's got kind of a goatee, but he's tall for an elf. He's about 6'1", and he wears pretty imposing boots, so he stands pretty tall, and he's not the tallest in his group. But he wears all black armor. He's got this skull helmet with sort of a crown of spikes around it and big shoulder pads. And he brushes by you, Iona, as you sort of needle him a little bit. And you don't get any reaction from him. He walks right by you. One of his lieutenants, wearing a silvered skull mask underneath a dark gray hood and similar armor, he just kind of slows a bit, and you see him kind of turn towards you and just say, "Yeah, you got your work cut out in there for you, love." And he's going to just kind of give his thumb behind him, and you hear him kind of under his hood as he and his compatriots depart your view after, a couple seconds. They kind of disappear.
All right.
Those are the guys that marked the crown collectors right after Maven joined the party, right?
That is correct.
Some of the crown collectors.
Not me and not you.
Yeah, Kravish.
Yeah.
Kravish, those of you that are here, Kravish, Koza, all of at the site of the Inquisitorius, these armored fellas, your necks kind of itch a little bit.
Yeah.
Aranor will psychically fill Iona in on just who these fuckers are.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
I don't hate them as much as I hate that other
Let's
guy.
see. Hold on. You're going to. Hold on. Go ahead. I'm doing stuff.
Yeah, on the hatred scale, they are lower than Victor.
Yeah. Not much.
It's also mixed in with, a not insignificant amount of fear and dread.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my god. Those fucking guys.
I'll say that this group's rolling passive intimidation is enough that, based on how you reacted and their presence, you guys all, as much as you don't like these people for what they've done to you, they seem pretty hardy. And you give them a wide berth. It's easier than starting shit for the lulz.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
As much as you hate people like this.
We hate them. I ain't fucking with them.
Yeah, do you really want to work that hard?
No.
Yeah.
Yeah, I value my ability to chew my food.
Yeah, so I'm glad that I did that because it means that Iona now knows more about where they stand with the crown collectors and with her, because no one has ever dared speak to her like that before, so now she understands the level of where they're at. And also to make a point, I am going to go in there and I'm going to cast Gentle Repose on the corpse.
Okay. You notice that its decay that it's experienced is much more like it's being desiccated. It's almost being preserved, but you can feel an essence has been stripped from it. And based on the fact that I believe Grave Clerics can cast Speak with Dead, that's what they did with this dagger that is now pocketing. That now this corpse, while it may not rot, it has withered the ability to ever be communicated with in this way ever again. It's honestly like just dead matter now.
Yeah, I'm just doing it to make a point, so that way if any of the goth assholes take the body, they'll see that I did in fact cast Gentle Repose on it.
Uh-huh.
Like I said, I'm not going to start anything with them, but I'm making a point.
Yeah.
She's making a point.
Well, Baranor, yeah, what are you and Luna doing? I think you're kind of out there. Maybe you're catching sight of Koza, who's just sort of wandering around. Daunt is still with you. It looks like, go ahead and roll insight for me. As you don't know him that well, but he seems pretty capable, and he's looking around. He ended up at some point pointing out a pickpocket about 20 feet away through a couple of people. He kind of leaned into you, like, what do you think? Should we intervene? Should you intervene? What do you want to do?
My insight is not one of Baranor's better strengths, so he kind of average.
So you're kind of taking him at face value. He definitely hasn't looked at your belt for your purse or anything like that. You look out for that kind of thing, being in the Thieves Guild. And you just notice him. He's got kind of a plucky but purposeful kind of attitude, and doesn't give off he's definitely not giving off an outward scary kind of deceptive vibe at all. So you're semi-comfortable right now, just sort of taking him at face value.
I mean, I've heard plenty of stories from the rest of the Crown Collectors about him, and
Yeah. I mean, you're getting the feeling like he was one.
Yeah. like he was one of them when I ran into them. So I feel like he has more history than, even though that I think we've spent more time together without him, but
hell yeah, that was.
But it feels like I was still a newcomer compared to him because he was there first. No. I'm saying this is what Baranor's, how Baranor feels.
Yeah. So, what do you guys wish to do? This is sort of this scene is starting to stabilize. It looks like the guards are now making it known that, all right, team, those of you in the tent, even nobility has its limits as far as we need to process the scene. The lieutenant makes it clear that this is all a crime scene now. Obviously, we're going to have to shut it down so that we can gather all of this evidence, all of this, whatever this flying vehicle was. They're trying to figure out how to move it. Definitely looks like it's really heavy, but some of you bump into it, and it's really light, actually. It's like a third of the weight you'd expect.
You said some of the gems have been dislodged from it?
And shattered. Yeah.
Is there any in whole ones that have been dislodged, or are they all shattered that are dislodged?
Well, you're not in the tent. And
I mean, I can circle back to the tent, but
okay. Daunt is going to ask you if it's all right to tag along and back you up. Baranor, seem like a good chap.
Yeah, I'm sure the guys would like to, see you again.
So he's going to kind of watch your back, and you see him kind of scanning the crowd behind you, and you see him kind of look at the guards and give this suave, kind of cracked smile, like I'm with the good guys and stuff, and kind of tiptoe backwards, looking at them as he spins around and twirls into the tent, and just is kind of stand in the back and look around, take everything in, and also get the feeling from the guards that they're kind of picking things up and getting things ready to maybe move out, be replaced by somebody else. You hear them murmuring about rotation, things like that. Kravish, you're also sort of being shooed. Yeah. So as you get into the tent, Baranor, you round where the bike is. It's surrounded by 5 guards. They're all kind of kicking it or kneeling down and studying it. It's being heavily observed right now. You do see several little piles of gem shards.
Okay.
Go ahead and make a Arcana check and a Nature check.
Okay. Arcana's not going to go well.
Arcana and Nature.
Arcana, okay.
13's not terrible. 13's not terrible. It's not great. But it's not terrible. Not great, not terrible. So, these gems, with your 21 Nature, you know gemstones, both raw and worked, hewn. Diamond, if you throw it on the ground, it'll shatter. A lot of people don't really know that, but it will. However, you would expect even glass to hit the ground and not splinter and shatter the way these have. It seems like this lattice of gemstone, in molecular nature, is rather fragile. So you're ruling out rubies, just in your head. Rubies don't break like this.
Yeah.
If you threw a giant ruby the size of a football on the ground, pieces of it would probably break off the edges, but it wouldn't shatter into a million pieces. So that's what you're getting from it. And the guards are now one of them's looking at you as you look at it.
Okay.
So consider yourself observed.
Okay. I was going to try and swipe one, but if I'm being watched, yeah. Alright. I guess I'll, meet up with the rest of the guys. And
before you go, Lieutenant Afaset is going to approach Kravish and Yuno and kind of extend his hand.
Okay, yeah. I've already taken off the mask by this point since it's no longer needed.
And everyone instantly, like Clark Kent and Superman, just kind of recognize exactly who you are right away. You're like, oh my god, you won't believe it. There was this guy here.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's gonna kind of some of the soldiers leave and new ones come in, he's gonna kind of give your hand a shake and say, well, Crown Collectors, it was nice to have met you and work together. I'm glad we have such talented interrogators in service of the Imperial Army. And you're going to see him kind of drop his eyes slightly, and he's going to squeeze your hand a little tighter, not painfully, Kravish, and pull you about an inch closer to him. Now you go forth. Make this right. Do right by the prince, just like the rest of us. And he's going to let you go and give you and Yuno and Baranor a nod, and him and 3 people are going to leave.
Okay.
With him gone and now 5 new guards, you guys are being asked, like, okay, this is thank you for your service. Thank you for your time. This is we're taking over.
And we know this, and I think we're in kind going, yeah, it was real. Have fun from here on out.
Yeah. You throw open the tent flaps, and there it looks like the perimeter to the site has shrank a little. They're letting people kind of do business in the stalls to the point where they are keeping there's a ring of guards sort of walking loosely on a perimeter of about 30 feet from the entrance to the tent at this point. And just things are sort of returning to normal. You're getting the sense that the day is to go on despite everything that's happening. You do still hear, as you kind of mosey away from the tent, you do still hear murmurings about the attack in the town, in the village square, or the city square earlier. It's been about maybe a half an hour now since this all happened. So there's still a lot of activity in this area, but there's a lot more looky-loos on the edge. And Daunt is going to accompany Baranor, and at this point, Kravish, you've seen him as well. He's given you a nod of acknowledgement, and Yuno's going to kind of look over his shoulder, and Baranor, you hear in your head, so what's going on with Daunt? and you can hear in your head through that psychic connection.
He wanted to tag along. Found him in the crowd. He was making Maven a little uneasy.
And he's going to kind of roll his eyes a little and kind of chuckle to himself under his breath. Yeah, well, he's a changeling warlock. They have a way of doing that.
Yeah.
Point is, he wants to tag along. What does that mean? Do we trust him? I mean, it's been a long time.
I don't know.
Let's see what his
intentions are.
If memory serves, he was always pretty power hungry.
True. Well, let's ask him what he means by what he means by wanting to tag along. Like,
I've got it unapproved, so if we really want to be careful.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, in the city square itself, you are all rejoined as a party.
Quick question.
Yep.
When Lieutenant Affiset, when he gripped my hand even tighter, did he palm something to me?
No,
Okay.
he didn't. It was a squeeze of conviction.
I got you. I just wanted to make sure.
I'll tell you what. Go ahead and roll insight for me. Doing a lot of insight today, aren't we? A lot of insight.
25.
20. Yeah, I mean, you got from him a camaraderie. He trusts you. You can definitely tell he trusts you more now. You're not sure if you'll ever see him again. He seemed like he was an absolute professional in his job, a good soldier. And from what he said, and you didn't catch that he was lying, perhaps a friend of Hector himself, and or someone that maybe knew him and respected him, and you can feel a quiver in his voice when he was speaking, sincerely about wanting revenge against who did this. And that's what he conveyed to you when he shook your hand. Get these people,
get these bastards. Yeah.
He could, he could smack puppies in his off time, but in this instance, you felt that he was genuine. So, what do the crown collectors do from here? Like I said, you're in the middle of the city. Points out that whatever we do, we need to rest. Because the spell chuckers are doing a little shitty right now.
Yeah, we're on fumes.
So,
I mean, I feel great.
Yeah.
I mean, is up for suggestions from the group on what to do next, but he's like, let's have this day end with going to Stonehelm Keep, please. And he's looking at his spell book going, my spells, my precious spells.
But I was going to ask, do we have the magical means to get us to Stonehelm Keep today, or do we need to rest before that?
I mean, can cast teleportation circle wherever we want.
Or we can go to the transportation center and go buy one.
Yeah.
Was it a ritual thing?
It is a ritual.
Okay, cool. Never mind that. Yeah, we can go now if that's the case.
Okay.
And in doing so, we can figure out what's Daunt's intentions.
We're taking Daunt with us.
Yeah. I don't think he knows we have real estate. During the
no, we acquired that after his departure.
Well, as you guys walk the streets, you do see Daunt trailing behind Baranor. It seems like he's not exactly glomming onto Baranor, but being as, he doesn't know some of you. And he knew Koza, he knew Kravish. He's just kind of hanging out with Baranor. It has been a while. It's been a long time. We're on session 95, and that was 15 when you left.
Yeah.
That was a long time ago. In game time, it's been like a year, maybe like 9 months, something like that. Between 9 months and a year, it's a long time when they didn't really know much of each other to begin with, really. you hang with people for a few weeks. But you're all of your passive insight on the insight checks you've been
they had a terrible
rolling today.
That bonds people together.
Yeah, exactly. You guys met the Bog Mother for the first time when he was there, learning about Shekis the dragon, and
those were two different instances, I believe.
Yeah.
Because the very first time they met the Bog Mother, I don't think Barador was with the group.
Nope. He met her first.
Yeah.
And didn't really know much about her other than she was a hag at some point. Didn't really know anything about her. She was just kind of scary. But but everybody kind of walking around eyeing him. He seems like an adventurer. He's got some, for a changeling, it looks like he's taken the appearance of someone who has some scars cut on his arms, one on his neck. He's got a kind of a cute little snake tattoo. It's got a little coil about the size of a golf ball on the back of his right wrist. And he's got like a big gold hoop earring in one. He's got this sort of high-collared vest, red vest on. And yeah, he's not bad looking. And he doesn't give off creepy vibes. He seems to kind of respect everyone's space and seems inquisitive, curious. He's looking around a lot, and but mostly behind everybody. Looking away, kind of keeping an eye on stuff. He's just kind of walking around and.
Hey, I've got a question about while we're walking. Are there any injured nearby? Because I know that a lot of people just straight up died from dragon's fire. But are there any sort of injured around?
There are healers. There are healers working the crowd. Now, understand, you're moving away from the crime scene. You're not moving towards the city center. You're moving away from there. The last time you left, when you guys moved through here, there were imperial officers, personnel, and staff rushing the scene to deal with Prince Hector, and the only one to survive was one of the Black Guard, and he was also carted away. But there are injured townsfolk that you kind of left, but that would be going back the way past the way you came.
Right, okay, yeah, it's just if they were, sort of injured making their way away from it as well, then I might do something, but if sort of being dealt with at the scene, then I'm not going to do anything specific right now.
Yeah, is kind of walking in the direction that Crevice is walking. It looks like the transportation center is, a 5-minute journey on foot away further into the Tower District. And you guys all walking together. You part the crowd. People get out of your way. It's for not the first time really, but all of you kind of throw me with your meme. You walk side by side, and the whole crowd just sort of gives birth to this adventuring party as you make your way to leave the city. Is there anything anybody would like to do in Haven's Crest before you all find the transportation center? Is not interested in shopping right now. He's thinking that any last minute stuff we need, we can get from Heistel, or have it delivered.
Yeah, no, I'm good. I'm ready to turn in for the day.
Yeah.
We need to rest, and then we need to be able to think and to plot, and can't do that right now. As tired as we all are.
The transportation center around a busy kind of building with lots of foot traffic. This is definitely where you hear the town crier, shouting at the top of his lungs, "Attack from above! City square destroyed! Suspected captured! Prisoner! Prince Hector in dire straits! All prayers to be directed to the Platinum Dragon! Keep his sovereignty in your thoughts and hearts!" Things like that. and you enter the teleportation center. As collected knights of the realm, you get a heavy discount. It's normally 250 gold to transport up to 10 people. For y'all, it's only 100. And I don't have access to the bag of holding or the party fund, so one of y'all can pay for it.
Telepathically, I'm like, what are we doing with Daunt? Is he coming with? Parting ways here.
I don't see why he can't come with.
Okay. I just didn't know if we were trusting him with the location of, well, our home.
I'm sure he could.
After the questions that were brought up earlier. Not that I'm suspicious of him, but
it's not like he's just going to know that he's somewhere else. It's not like he can point it out on a map.
Yeah, though bear in mind, once we bring him there, we will have to either send him back in a way that won't make him know where he is, or just accept that he, when leaving, would figure it out.
There's some jail cells at the keep.
Why are we just assuming we need to arrest this guy? Y'all traveled with him for a long time before I showed up, and I'm just feeling like this is a little overkill.
He's a man of many faces.
People change.
He does more so than others.
So is Pravesh.
Yeah, Karish just did. Karish became nobody.
We didn't even recognize him. I recognized him, but nobody else did. It was ridiculous.
All right, we'll just level him. It's like, all right, Don, we're about to head on out of here. We're about to head back to our keep,
and then from there go on a dangerous mission.
Yeah, there are parts unknown for a dangerous mission. Are you still wanting to tag along through all of this?
Daunt, he changes his appearance slightly. As you guys are all sort of in like an alcove of the vestibule of the transportation center where you guys can like discuss. It's not really a room, it's like a cubby where there's it looks like there's shelves of locked bookcases and some crates and stuff. You guys are kind of huddling up. And Daunt just sort of augments his appearance slightly, and his arm muscles get bigger, and his chest muscles puff out a little bit, and he just kind of has this wide-eye smile on his face, this suave look to him, and he says, "Listen, I left my mates at the tavern room we rented. They can stay there. They're criminals. And frankly, I'm tired of running with their sort. I think it was fortuitous that we bumped into each other in the streets of the city. I've been looking for a change, and here you are. I don't want to get in your way or bog you down, but it'd be nice to go somewhere and fight for a cause worth fighting for. Tell you what, let me tag along. Just a few miles or so. See what the horizon brings. Be a crown collector one more time. And hey, you can even keep off my loot if it greases the wheels of decision making. What you say now?" And he's going to put his hand on Karish's shoulder, and you know his flesh is warm, and you get kind of a warm feeling kind of runs up your shoulder, and you feel the touch of a friend again.
Mm-hmm. Okay. All right. But if we found out you've impersonated as one of us for any kind of personal gain, we're going to throw you out to sea.
He laughs. Kravish. Now, what kind of changeling would I be if I couldn't assume a persona here or there? If it serves my purpose monetarily, I won't steal from you, but maybe I'll make money for you.
I look at him with a very serious face.
And he changes that into a silver scale dragonborn and says, "See?" And he sounds just like you. See?
That's what I'm saying.
It's easy for me. Why wouldn't I want to assume someone just so damn handsome? And he reverts back to Daunt. And just kind of, he does a little twist, and he's got his hand also on, like the lieutenant did, he's got his hand on this real attractive rapier on his hip that those of you who knew him didn't have that before. Real kind of fancy, but more of a pirate's cutlass than Anthem's edge. Beautiful in its make, though. And he just kind of twirls on the ball of one of his feet and kind of does a little half dance around the room and just sort of folds his arms and leans against Baranor and gives you kind of a nod.
Yeah.
All right, then. Well, let's get out of here.
All right, who's paying 100 gold?
He's chipping in.
Okay.
Daunt's chipping in.
Yeah, Daunt's got a pouch. He pulls up. I mean, what would a seventh of 100 gold be?
Gonna have to be a sixth. Maven has no money.
Oh no!
Hey, if he throws in 15, we're good.
Yeah, he tosses you 20 just to make it nice.
Hey, the rest of us will contribute the remaining 80.
All right, go ahead and mark that down. And at the end of this session, if you guys want to just look at your sheets, I'd like a count of how much gold everybody has, and I'm going to have Ken give me the same thing, just to get a clue on where everybody's at. It may affect my loot scores. So be honest.
Yeah, we all broke.
You pay the ferryman as it were, and it's a hustle and bustle now in this area. There are kind of a row and then a staircase up where there are more rows of these large, like 15-foot wide circular alcoves set in the wall, and it's in its own little room. You go in, you can shut this door behind you and activate this teleportation circle, as there is like embedded platinum in the stone itself, forming permanent glyphs. And the attendant stands behind sort of a stone desk. He takes your money. There's a bank of holographic illusory script against one of the walls, and it seems like it's giving kind of maybe like a scrolling newsreel of events. It's in several different languages. Some of them you guys don't speak, but goes off in elf, in dwarf, and it's news of the fact that a member of the official announcement is that a prominent member of the royal family was attacked in the streets of Haven's Crest. Not much more information besides the fact that local heroes involved in the incident. Doesn't make mention of the crown collectors. But, you kind of like gather around, and as soon as the attendant sort of takes your gold, he deposits it into like one of those bank suction tubes. It kind of floats away, and you see him pull these levers and dials, and a magical gem spins up on this rod, and he kind of like grabs it with the top of his hand and presses forward. And all of you feel a rush of energy at your feet drag you down through a tunneled space. And that is where we're going to take a break.
Woohoo! All right.
Woo-hoo.
Well,
okay.
We made it through.
You did it, folks. You're not dead or arrested.
Hey,
Always
that's a total win for us.
Yeah, I think if you're not in chains or unconscious, it's probably a good day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So, all right,
not dead and arrested are two of my favorite things to be.
Yeah.
Then one of our party members is attacking a prison guard and derailing the whole campaign for several sessions.
I don't.
Sorry, that was from a different campaign.
Yeah.
Pretty close. Guard, Wrangler, well,
No,
Oh, right, well, it is
for no reason, and we were just being held.
Uh-huh.
That was the whole fucking thing.
And one of our players who
Yes, it was.
He was just like, no, I attacked the guard.
This is another campaign, and legitimately, it was a
whole deal.
It was a whole.
It was a lot.
Thing.
We got banned from the main city of the campaign in like the third session.
3.
Yeah. Ay. All right, folks. Well, it is 4 o'clock, apropos. So we will take a 15-minute, 4 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. We'll be back here at 4:15, and you guys will reappear at the basement of Stonehelm Keep. Right?
Hey.
Nope.
All right, we're going to get back to it. You all feel yourselves rushing down, up, through a tunnel of arcane energy. And after about what feels like an eternity, and yet a flash of light, and your feet, boom, hit rock-solid surface. I'm gonna go on a rolling, kind of a standing order that somebody is going to message Clyde. Moving forward, Yuno's definitely going to do it this time, and he's going to message just saying
that we don't do it.
Oh shit, you're back.
Well, that'll be up to you next time. This time, Yuno's going to make an announcement. Just, hey, we're coming back in 15 minutes. No big deal. Just, have the lights on and shit.
Yeah.
You arrive at the basement transportation circle of Stonehelm Keep. And just for the sake of brevity, you are greeted by Clyde and several members of the staff. You all definitely are still in a state of disrepair, although throughout the last hour of you guys after this battle you had with the Githyanki, did a number of prestidigitationing, fixing what he could just to kind of clean you up. But you still feel dirty. You still stink. You still have the remnants of injury, even though you're mostly healed up. So you're received by the housing staff, and they all kind of turn and the first thing they do is they give you all curtsy, and they turn to Iona, and there's just like a half a beat where of recognition before they're like, oh, and they kind of, one of them approaches you. Is there anything I can do to aid you? They also then, all of them, including Clyde, who at this moment is sort of shaking hands with Kravish and on welcoming you back. They all turn their attention to Daunt, who is standing in the back next to Baranor and Luna. And Clyde just sort of looks through his monocle and bringing back guests, I see. And he's going to also throw that look at Maven and kind of give a double take. Like, m'lady?
Take off the mask and the hood.
Yeah.
Hey, Clyde. How you doing?
M'lady, you're looking different.
Hopefully it keeps going away. Is there a bath ready?
He says, why, certainly we can have the bathhouse prepared and ready for visitation within the hour. So at this moment, we're going to, Yuno's going to break off from the group. He's going to bid you all a pleasant evening and definitely head to his room. And we're going to kind of go back and forth between people. The first thing we're going to get clear is that, you fill in Clyde on where you intend to go. And he makes arrangements and comes back with you through some sending and speaking to different people he knows in the shipping industry. The fastest journey west is off of the small port town at the bottom of the mountain under the Taliesin Monastery to the west. He can arrange to have a ship worthy enough to make the journey across the ocean in 3 days. So all you got to do is get there, which, Maven, you would know, the Taliesin Monastery has a transportation circle.
Yeah.
So you guys can warp there whenever you wish.
Perfect.
But the ship will not leave that dock for Baraxos on the Morab Islands in 3 days. For 3 days. So you guys have a few days to do whatever you need to do in the castle. You can visit Highstell. So we're going to spend the rest of the session dealing with those last 3 days. The first thing is that Maven.
Yes.
As soon as you all arrive and your feet hit the floor, you're instantly hit with a chillingly cold temperature. It's uncomfortable here. You're accustomed and have acclimated to a realm of heat. Not nearly as hot as it was in the fire realm, but pretty close. And you've gotten used to it. You've adapted. And this place is decidedly cold and devoid of, the glow of flames. There's hearths against the wall here and there. And when you guys kind of ascend to the ground floor, there's hearths that you could stand in front of, sure. But this place it's cold. You find yourself, in your bronze tank top, you find yourself grasping your shoulders. And Sunny is equally freezing. And he, in your head, says, "Take me to my lair, mother."
You know the way, I don't have to escort you.
And
your house too, go.
He's going to kind of bristle a little and kind of give you a knock with his hip as he walks through and disappear upstairs. At some point, Maven, in preparation and waiting for your bath to be ready, you find yourself just, you sort of instantly head up to your room, kind of peel the day away. You catch sight of yourself in the mirror for the first time in 3 years. It stops you in your tracks. You weren't expecting it at first. You know this room. You were here before. You've helped decorate it with Kravish. But it's been a long time. And you've done well to keep the evil away. And while you didn't exactly feel the guidance of Pelor in the hells, you definitely felt and made his presence known there. So this wasn't, you didn't feel cut off from your god. You brought part of your god with you.
Yeah.
That's not what it's not what you're feeling right now. As you look in the mirror, there were no mirrors in the hells. Not exactly sure why. You never asked. You never got close to anybody enough to wonder why. But standing here looking, half expecting to see your elven features, you do see your devilish horns, sharp angles to your cheekbones, elongated irises, sharp teeth, red skin. And you do well enough to accept that this is temporary, but you're really glad it's temporary. This is a lot. You definitely look like an enemy. You don't even look like a tiefling. You look like a jacked up tiefling. Very, very heavy on the devil side of it. But it's not necessarily your face that you fall on for, too long. It's your hair. A long time ago, maybe a couple years ago, After swiping it out of your face for the 150 millionth time, you decided to pull it back and braid it into kind of a mohawk French braid down your middle of your head, down your back, just to keep it away. It was functional only. And while resting your eyes on this, leaning against the vanity, Kurdish, not quite there yet. You know he's coming, but he's a couple seconds behind you. You are awash with memory. You close your eyes. A view of being above great tall clouds below you. High elevation. A bristling breeze. You open your eyes, and there you stand on the highest peak of the Taliesin Monastery mountainside. A flat circle lies before you, maybe 40 feet across. A twisted, tattoo-like inscription of a coatl writhing on the circle carved in the wood. And standing at the edge of the cliff, overlooking a grand sea of ocean and clouds, is a familiar face. Just merely looking at the back of her floods you with anticipation of what's to come today. Baranor, would you like to describe who she sees?
So she sees a lithe female, dark skin, but not as dark as you would think for her species. White hair still, but a little light lavender on the skin. Dark clothing, kind of matches Maven's typical outfit, but all black, with the same hand wrappings as you usually have seen. Standing there is a half drow.
She stands. Yep, she stands with her back to you, Maven. Mm-hmm. And that thick, twisted braid runs down the top of her head, down her back. You see Lorixina. Mm. I can hear you.
I wasn't trying to hide it.
Wait,
couldn't if you wanted to.
I didn't want to. But
Bogey, you can take over.
Okay. What were you saying?
Just that Maven couldn't hide her steps if she wanted to.
Oh yes,
I could too.
I always know when you're there, Sunflower.
Oh dear. I've asked you to stop calling me that.
Well, you're just such a ray of sunshine.
And what does that make you, my shadow?
If we're going by the flower aesthetic, lavender?
Lavender? Okay. Lav. She knows it's going to annoy her, so she's doing it more. You ready to train?
The question is, are you ready? We have a very difficult task ahead of us.
Yeah. We got this. We've been through worse.
Have we? This is a really tough test.
I think we'll be okay. Gotta think positively. Come on.
Let's see if you're ready.
I'm going to move you two, or everybody, to the new map. The waves crash infinitely below you. A tall, wide cherry blossom tree rains petals gently, constantly. You all kind of, or the two of you, sort of go ahead and place yourselves on the map on opposite sides. Lorixina, you can go ahead and put yourself as far to the west on the cliffs as you want.
I'll try to put myself anyways.
Maven, you have your first mini.
Yay!
Because this is back when you were
Back in the
you were
day.
super younger.
I still can't put myself up there.
Of course you can. Hold on. There you go.
This is baby Maven.
Yeah.
This is only like 30-year-old Maven. Just
And I don't have control.
Yes, you do. God damn it.
No,
I gave it to you. You definitely have control. It says right there.
I don't have it. I can't highlight.
Yeah. Dang it. Edit token properties. Well, it's to the point now where I don't understand what this lacks that Varanor doesn't. You know what I mean? It's really annoying because you have, it says in players' journals, Giuseppe and Varanor can be edited and controlled by Giuseppe and Varanor. Like, okay, watch this. Kravish?
Yeah.
Can you, hold on, let me do something. Let me, just in case, I don't want to be too cavalier with this. Alright, Kravish, are you able to move this character? On the left? No?
Nope.
No? Are you able to bring it on the field? Because I just gave you permission. And I'm going to reset my roll 20. Just to see. I don't know what this this character that I made, I don't know what it's missing.
I don't know.
You know? It's weird.
I don't see any other character other than Maven.
No, I'm saying, are you able to take this character out of your... If you reset roll 20, maybe, that's it.
Okay, let me reset roll 20 then.
You know, I don't get it because you've had... Bogey, you've had permission since last night. So I don't know why it won't give it to you.
Let me try resetting as well, but I don't think it'll work.
I don't think it's going to work either.
I don't see another character in my character list. I've got myself
what the
and
hell?
Spectral Dragon. I don't have another character in my...
Maybe... Let's see. What does that do? Edit. If I edit it... No, see? It's all... You've got permissions. Yeah. You have you both of you have permissions just like I would.
I don't.
But you don't see it. Whatever. I don't get it.
Me. I have always been able to do this. We've done this several times with several characters. Try giving it to me.
Okay. Maven. Okay, I just saved it with your permission.
Okay.
Let's see, did you see her pop up? I'll reload roll 20.
Yes, I do. And I can put her on the field.
Wow.
What?
Wow.
What browser are you using?
Me?
Home.
I'm using Chrome as well.
I'm using Opera, but that shouldn't really matter.
It shouldn't matter.
I'm using Edge, so let me try Chrome.
Are you using Edge? Are you a boomer? Are you an Internet Explorer using boomer?
I currently have Firefox, Chrome, and Edge all open at the same time.
It uses everything constantly.
Wow.
And there are like
Except the one you
25
needed.
tabs open on every single one of them.
Yeah, maybe that's why. Maybe your computer doesn't know what the hell you want to do.
Your CPU is just over-attacked.
All right. Well,
let me see if I can remember how long.
I'm going to add a turn for her, and go ahead and roll initiative, Maven. She got a 25.
My character sheet is incorrect, so I'm just gonna...
Is it not leveled? Because you can run this at level 15. That's fine. I think I had Baranor, or I had Bogey level her to 15.
Yes.
And the two of you square off. Let's get back to it. Holy crap. The two of you square off and kick a little dust up from your feet as you take... You slide your sandaled feet into a ready stance. And as you do, the clouds whisk away. We find ourselves back at Stonehelm Keep as Koza. You toddle your way to Koza's cozy sanctuary. Your tower within the castle, ringed with hanging vines and curtains of flowers attached to just greenery that clings to the very windowsills that spill out into the outside air, and little grasses and vines grow and snake away from the entrance to your room by maybe 15-20 feet into the hall. And you can see that there is a light on inside.
I will slowly approach the door and just give a knock.
The first thing that you notice is the pleasant smell. More artificial, alcohol-backed up perfume than natural floral fragrances that you're used to in here. That, and I mean, you've got a bouquet of smells in this room. You know, there's a healthy smell of like small animal dried dung in the corners. There's the smell of pet dander, as you know, little woodland creatures flit in and out of here on a daily basis, I'm sure. And flowers that sort of just dangle down from the huge, immense tree that you've grown in this room. But you do smell of a new smell, and it's very pleasant. When you knock on the door and see the silhouette of Neela at the other side of your chamber. Looks like she's up against a desk and leaning on it. She looks a little frustrated. You knock on the door and she turns quickly. You're home!
I just extend my arms and await the inevitable hug.
Yeah, she flies across the room. And she's wearing slightly different clothing. It looks like she's sort of maybe spent a little money on herself. Let me bring up what she looks like today. She's wearing a nice dress with some embroidery and things of that nature. And here we go. And she's going to just collapse into your embrace as you, kind of swallow up this room with your presence. All the plants in this room kind of lean towards you slightly as you enter, and wherever you step, the grass sprouts little blue and pink flowers that sort of, as you walk, they suck back into the ground a few steps behind you. And she just kind of sighs, and you feel her whole frame kind of relax at the warmth of your embrace to her. And she kind of like gives you one last little squeeze and pulls away. And she's like, "So, what news do you bring? What's going on, Dad?"
Well, we don't know much, but we know who would know more than us. So we're gonna recoup, rest, and hopefully head out and find some answers.
Well, where are you heading? I hope it's not too far away.
We are heading to some islands. It's kind of far away.
Yeah, islands. I mean, there's no islands near here. Wherever you're going, it's definitely far away. What do you hope to learn? What's the... And, the two of you kind of settle for a moment on your hammock, and she kind of asks questions here, not terribly inquisitively. You catch her up to speed on the basics. How deep into the lore do you want to get with her?
Enough to let her know that I'm going to be busy for a minute, but not enough to worry her as to how potentially dangerous it could be.
And she kind of leans on your shoulder, and she looks up, and you've got up sort of a banner of your clan, the Twilight clan, the upturned or the upside down, low-hanging moon dripping with stars on a blue satin field flag kind of tapestry dangles from between two of the branches, and she just looks up and says, You've really come a long way since the village fell. I mean, look at you, jet setting across the continent, going on missions. I mean, my dad, it's crazy what you've been up to.
Look at what you've done. You've done a great job with the Weave Children, and you've established yourself in town, and people know you, and they like you.
She just kind of sheepishly looks down at her folded hands in her lap. We've done all right.
Yeah, we have.
I wish. And her voice breaks a little, and she says, "I wish Dad was here to see all this."
Me too, kid.
And she just kind of huffs and stands up and says, "Right, now listen. Now that you're here, I could use some help."
What's up?
And she kind of immediately spins around and goes to the desk where she's got a book. And she said, "I found this book in town. And, since I was a little girl, I wanted to, be a druid like you and Dad. And I just never really got the hang of it until I found this book. It's a book on herpetology, but it's got like magic involved, and that feels like druid stuff, right? But I don't understand the ingredients for some of these potions, and all I'm trying to do is," and she brings like this small cauldron. It's like the size of a cantaloupe. She brings this small cauldron over to the hearth and says, "Every time that I try to boil these ingredients, and she sets it down on like near the edge of the fireplace, and every time it starts to boil, it turns rock hard and just spills out and is ruined." And so she's kind of like standing there, and she's like, "It's just a simple growth nutrient, and it takes a simple plant and it just extends the vibrancy, and it does basically what you do whenever you druid craft." And she's like, "What do you think I'm doing wrong?"
Well, I'm going to take a look at the book and see if I can find any discrepancies.
So it's mostly in common, and there are recipes for all kinds of, fertilizers. It's a gardening tome. It's written by a dozen different people, and as you flip through it, she's kind of like being a little nosy and kind of pawing at your pack and kind of pulling stuff out of it that you've collected. And one of them is like a wax that you've collected from foraging in the woods here and there. And she's like, "What's this?"
Oh, just trinkets, odds and ends, that sort of thing.
And she's kind of holding her hand. She goes, "No, wait, it's got the right viscosity, the consistency. Hold on." And she brings it over to the desk, and she pulls like she's got a little alchemical set, a little tiny bubbling flask with sort of a dropper and a little basin to mix things, and a mortar and pestle. And she takes a little bit of it, and she goes, "Is this wormroot wax?"
I sort of flip the thing in my hands. I think so. Hard to tell after a while.
And she goes, that just might do it. And she grabs a little bit of this jelly that she's mixed before, and empties out the cauldron, puts it back in. She goes, what do you think? And she says, all right, it might help if we add a little druid magic. Cast druidcraft into that, and let's see what happens.
Canonically, that's the noise it makes. That I have to make that noise, or else it doesn't work.
Boom. So as you cast into it, for a moment, the bubbling stops. It's almost like you've staved off some kind of reaction, and you're worried. And she kind of slumps her shoulders, and you see her kind of start to moan, like, oh. It almost seems like you've stopped the reaction, and nothing happens for a moment. And then a little tendril of green spills out of the top, and her eyes light up. She goes, look, and another little tendril, and grass with sort of curled edges starts to emerge from the cauldron until it begins to fill with plant life. And but only just. It just kind of covers the top of the cauldron. She just kind of looks a little like a little disappointed. So she just walks up and she just kind of pokes it with a little stick that she's got. And the reaction increases. And all of a sudden this shoot of green matter just kind of forks out of the cauldron and grasps down on the floor beneath it, followed by another and another. And she backs up and she goes, okay, whoa, Dad. And as she speaks, the cauldron snaps in half, and it explodes with vegetative plant matter that starts to spread out the corner of the room until it reaches up in the air, and 3, 4, 5 of these reddish veined bulbs emerge. And she goes, I did not plan for this to happen. This was not supposed to happen. We're going to move you to the map of your room.
Oh shit!
Where this creature
Am I fighting off
to this creature, which is he's not quite that big. He is gargantuan, but he's only 4x4. In this side of the room, oh yeah, that's too much. Oh, that's perfect. So I need you to place yourself in this room somewhere. And you can go ahead and roll initiative as well. And I will put Neela on the field.
Might have to put me too.
Okay.
420 always gives me trouble with that.
Yeah, well, you're not alone. There you are. You're very big. Let me make you regular.
Shit.
Okay, can you move that?
Yes.
Alright, well, Neela's going to be over here with you. Actually, she's going to be over here by the window. So let's give her a turn. All right. That is going to do it for all turn orders. Sorry, everybody. Aos, don't worry, you'll do stuff. Oh, she got a 12. Oh, she got a 12. What's your dex?
+1.
Plus what? She's got a +2. She goes before you do. All right, folks. Okay. Yeah, so this giant... and by the way, no roaring, no screeching, no sounds, no feed me, Seymour. However, you do hear this slopping, slimy, whipping, slashing through the air. And as these tendrils reach through the sky, they've got these odd, alien-like spiky pads that are licked with slime, and you can just smell this acrid odor. Something wild, something crazy, something terrible has happened to this plant, and it now earlessly regards both of you, and it looks like it's about ready to reach for you. Kravish.
Yo.
As you sort of are finishing the touches of catching Clyde up on your plans, and that this is the moment, for the first 35-40 minutes. Maven looks like she put Sunny properly away to his lair so that he can warm it up and get it ready. So you're kind of on your own. You're working out the details with Clyde on arranging for this travel, and indeed he does arrange for you to be able to ferry you from the Taliesin Monastery all the way to the west, which, if we go back to the map, you can see where that is. It's on the western coast of the Empire.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see, how far would that be? Looks like he and you calculate that it would be... Oh, damn it. Go away. Oh, I know why. I gotta take away the grid. Take away grid, please. Thank you. Okay. Baraxos is 64 miles. You can get about, 20 miles, so it's a 3-day journey from the Taliesin Monastery by ship, which arrives at the port town in 3 days. So there you go. Okay. You're able to work that out. He's gonna take the ferry passage fee, which is, something of the neighborhood of about 500 gold. He's gonna take that out of sort of the reserve that you have already paid the house. To upkeep and the wages of the staff and stuff like that. So it's getting his fund is getting a little thin. Is definitely going to review those ledgers and make sure no funny business is going on, skimming off the top or anything like that. But soon, perhaps you guys will probably have to refill the keep's coffers.
Mm-hmm.
And as he kind of toddles away with things to do, preparations to make dinner, the such, and readying everyone's chambers to your specifications as quickly as possible, you hear in your ear a very garbled, muffled message. Did you hear me? Hello? Krevish? It's a goobo. Difficult to relay where I'm at. Magic still not functioning as clearly as it should. And you hear this stuttering message cut off there.
Okay, I will try to reply back, yes, Lagubo, I can hear you. Where are you? What happened? Mom and sis are both here safe.
You're not sure if it got to him, but that message was damaged. Getting to you was damaged. You don't even feel like you got all of it. You feel like maybe it got cut off. So go ahead and make an Arcana check.
Okay. Arcana. Guidance. 17.
Mm-hmm.
Plus 4 for a 21.
Well, 21's pretty good. Pretty good. And you kind of pace the halls up to your room as you think. And Ascending is a 3rd level evocation spell. It's pretty powerful. It should cut through, climate change and temperature variations with ease. But for some reason, wherever a Gubo is, he's still close enough where he's having trouble with the strength of the spell. And as you think about the sending spell, you know that you have an even more powerful form of communication that might just have more of an oomph to get the message across, and it has the added benefit that you can see them.
Magic mirror. So I will go ahead and make my way up to the war room where the magic mirror is located.
Mm-hmm.
And I will go up to there, and I will use the command word to trigger it to show me Argenturoth Agubo.
After a few seconds, you can see the ring of fire within the edges of this magic mirror start to flare up and rotate slightly and slowly as the mirror itself begins to shift. And that's when, being that you are arcanely locked into this spell because you're the one who initiated it, you feel a pull from somewhere deep inside of you in an arcane way, yanking on your source of divine inspiration, connecting you to your god, where you get most of your power, the Platinum Dragon. You feel that being yanked on and then pushed and then pulled again. You almost feel like something's grasping you around your spine from inside and yanking you around. And that's when you see an image of a hulking, hooded, fuzzy, glitching image of your brother looking at you. You see this. Hello? Kravish? Can you hear me? Can you see me?
Yes, Agubo. I can hear and see you. Where are you?
5 miles outside of, and he's like, his speech is garbled and cut off and skippy, but you definitely can hear him and you can see him. He's struggling to get the message across, and he says, "Any farther? Have to sacrifice safety for this camp is," and he's really struggling hard to speak slowly. And in that way, we'll say that you're able to understand him in what he says to a limited but mostly degree.
Okay.
So, bearing that in mind, he does cut off now and then. We can converse normally. He just kind of, you look behind him. Go ahead and make a perception check. It's a little difficult to make out his surroundings. He looks cold, though.
13, nat 1.
13, yeah. It's hard to see. You got a nat 1?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's too, the image is too fuzzy. It's even discolored. It looks like it's drained of all color, but you're able to see him, and he does move, and he's trying to speak to you. It goes out for like a good half a second here and there, but things are good here. Set up camp on perimeter of Dead Zone. That's what they're calling it.
Who is they?
The expedition into the mountains. Mostly people that are interested in the zone. No Imperials.
How are you? Are you well?
Hungry a lot. Cold. Got here a few days ago. There is a small village in mountains, staying a few miles away. But any further, and we run risk of mountain creatures that roam the wilds. Safer here. Sorry for... And he just like, as he's saying the garbled message, his message garbles up.
Mm-hmm.
You look good. Nice armor.
Oh, thank you. I'm glad to see you are well, brother.
And he responds with, yeah, at least 9 hours a day. Got some news. Not good or bad, but somewhat hopeful, somewhat disappointing.
Okay.
We found Thesia crash site. It's not obliterated and smithereens like they thought, but it did crash and crumble. Looking for Dad's shop. Haven't found him or Rothgar yet. Magic does not work in the dead zone at all. Don't know how else to search for him other than just look.
Do you have a message for mother and sister?
And he pauses for a moment, and you know that it's not because of the poor connection. He straightens up. You see through the distortion, you see him puff his chest out a little bit, and he drops his head just slightly and raises it again, and through the garbled message, he locks eyes with you. Tell her, one way or another, I'll bring Dad and Rothgar home.
Be careful, brother. Our investigations here have shown this is likely due to some very powerful evil force.
And the connection falters, and he's like, doesn't it always? And it falters more and starts to skid, and it looks like you're losing him, and you catch like, brother, look, and the mirror goes blank, and which is not something you've had happen before. You've never lost connection.
Right.
Usually you just kind of end the call, and this definitely was broken for some reason.
Okay, after that,
Iona. No, go ahead. Sorry.
I said at that point, I'm going to go tear out to go find my mother and sister to relay that news.
So they are not in the castle. They are not. They're also not in the servants' quarters. Over the last few days, they, working with Clyde, they've got a little money. They rented a room in town.
Okay.
And that's where they are.
Okay.
It's about late midday at this moment, just before the dinner hour, about maybe an hour away.
All right. So I'll use the mirror again to contact them, and I'll relay the news to them that way.
Your mother, in the mirror, looking radiant and beautiful to you, and your sister, looking just like her, only a little shorter. Even though your sister's full grown, she's an adult for the most part. She's much daintier, and your sister is in the apartment that they've rented, but she's not like at the mirror. It's mostly just your mother until you mention your father and your brother, in which case you see her drop whatever she's got in her hand and whisk away to the mirror and fill the frame with her radiance. We've heard from Agubo? So, what's he saying?
And I'll relay that, it was a very garbled message. There's some pretty severe magical interference because of the event. And I'll kind of relay briefly the contents as well as his message to them.
They both take a beat to absorb what you say. Must have been nice hearing his voice.
Indeed.
How does he look? Is he eating? Is he keeping himself fed?
The condition, I really couldn't tell where, but I can only assume he's somewhere in the Frosted Bluff Mountains. The conditions are pretty harsh, but he appears to be taking it well.
He always was a freight train, wasn't he?
Oh, yes.
I'm sure whoever he's with is probably curling up next to him for warmth.
If they can stand the smell.
Speaking of which, what's this I hear about about you going to the hells, chasing somebody?
Oh, yeah. We'll talk about that later.
You definitely get that. Kravish, Argenturoth, Kravish.
Yeah.
You know, the mom saying your whole name.
I'm using my government name now. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll tell you. We got Maven back.
Well, I'll book passage back up to the keep tonight. There's no way I'm missing out on seeing your lovely paramour, as you've described her. And you hear your sister complain a little. I was supposed to meet Theofred later. And he's like, family comes first. And she just kind of turns back and she's like, you look well, honey. You eating too?
About as well as can be considered, given the circumstances and all the adventuring.
Well, all right. Give me a little while, and I'll head my way up there, and I'll bring your sister along, and we'll have ourselves a nice dinner, so I can meet this young lady.
Okay.
And she just kind of gives you a wink, and the image ends, and the mirror goes out with a pleasant thwump. And you just kind of stand there now looking at a mirror at yourself, at the expression of, this is all of a sudden very real. And you feel a pull to run and tell Maven as soon as possible what to expect.
Yep. Honey? Clyde said a few other places for dinner.
It's gonna go so well. So well. I'm so excited.
Iona. Ellie, are you there too? You're there too.
I'm there.
We're making our way down the list. Your evening ends before anybody else's. Not that it ends any earlier, but what's interesting about the next 12 hours is what happens while you're asleep. Is there anything terribly important you'd like to do before going? You're not interested in dinner because everyone's just kind of grabbing dinner whenever they're hungry. That's kind of how it is. Yuno's not really joining the party.
Carry on.
No, just Yuno's going to kind of keep to himself tonight and will ready himself for the morning journey once everyone's rested and supplied, and he's not exactly sure what he's going to do the next couple days. Koza seems to be enraptured with spending time with his daughter. So you've got the evening to yourself, but you're tired. You're dirty. It's been a day.
Yeah, I will have washed the smell of burning flesh out of my hair. Probably sooner rather than later. And then I will have written a few letters. Because I know my brother has his little sending item, but there's a word limit on that. So I'm writing in a code that only we know, that would be incredibly hard to crack.
Okay.
And basically everything, I'm giving him a lowdown on everything that is sort of transpired so that he's aware of it, and I'm addressing it to a dead drop in Dead Marsh, which we have used before, and which he will check if I have written him a letter. And then I am writing a second letter, this one to my grandmother, but this is a daughter, and unlike the last one that we wrote to her, this one it's in Elvish. I am writing it in a very proper form. I'm writing it just because the last letter we sent was very much in the style of what our grandmother would expect from us based on the only time we met her, but I feel like there's something unsaid, so I write very proper very neat handwriting. To the Lady Nestra of House Aegis, you may be interested to know that a high elven woman with red hair and green eyes was known to have taken the imperial stronghold of the Needle with a great deal of violence and death. She was subsequently slain by Iona of House Aegis, which deed the aforementioned Iona was knighted. Talking about myself in third person because I don't feel that I can full out say it. And then I sign my name, and that's the letter. And I don't give any address for her to write back to me. And that is sort of my evening.
I'm gonna want you to just make a. What's your highest charisma score? Skill.
My highest charisma skill. The only charisma skill I have is deception.
Okay, why don't you just give me a general charisma check, and go ahead and add your proficiency to it, because these words are hefty, and you're doing your best to represent them with the venom and restraint you can muster.
Okay, right. I'm just going to sort of do it in the thing. Okay, that's an 11.
It's tough to pour your heart out into words without being able to be as vitriolic as you want to be. Restraint is not new to you, but uncomfortable. You'd rather just dress someone down and release that. But you're trying to be stoic, and you feel that your letter conveys the necessary information while also retaining the outright insult in place of the passive-aggressive jabs in between words. And that's when you hear a little knock on your door. Seems like sort of a polite knock. You turn, you don't see anybody. And from out in the corridor... Now, mind you, your room, by the way, has not been retrofitted to your liking yet. You guys haven't been gone, I don't think, long enough for that to have happened, but you do see, like, certain things have been removed. The fighting dummies have been removed. So you still are looking around the room as this knock happens with sort of a, how do I want this place to look? And you hear a knock. And you hear the voice of someone that you traveled here with, but that you don't really know very well. And Daunt sort of pokes his head from around the corner and says, Hi. Just me. You're Iona, right?
Yes.
Is it, am I interrupting something? Is it alright if I step inside?
I'm finished. I was just writing a few letters.
Writing letters? Feel like no one does that anymore. Everyone's so busy using magic, sending messages through the air. Seems like times have changed since the old scribe and parchment.
Well, some members of my family are a little old-fashioned.
Old-fashioned? If you know the history of your family, it must mean that you've got a storied history. And he kind of, he's going to make a little observation. You see him sort of sashay and saunter in. I need you to make a wisdom saving throw right away. He's going to make a little observational glance. Let's see. He got a natural 20.
Oh, and I got a natural 1, so I don't think I notice whatever it is.
Okay. A wisdom save of 12 and a failure at that. Gosh. Not for nothing. Daunt is a little disarming. You don't get an unsafe vibe from him. and he looks like he, in his ability, kind of gets a read on you, and you watch as his face, he kind of turns and spins around. His face becomes much softer. His hair shortens and becomes kind of a tumbling blonde, and his skin lightens gently. And he crosses your room and just says, this shape is, well, a little more comfortable for these surroundings. What do you plan to do with this room? I mean, it's an awful lot of space. And I see 2 beds.
One for myself and one for my brother. I will be keeping the 2 beds for when he visits.
Yeah, he just kind of like, he stops at the foot of Levin's bed, and just kind of taps his fingers on the end of it. He's like, "Oh yeah, that's fine. That's fine. I'm not trying to take away any accommodations here. I actually threw my stuff in a spare room downstairs off the beaten path. Sometimes maybe I'll sleep in the woods. It's kind of what I've been doing mostly these last few months anyway."
We all end up sleeping in the woods in this line of work.
So, I kind of get the impression that you're sort of new to this group, kind of like I am again.
Relatively, yes.
What happened? How did you guys meet? I mean, if it's privileged information or whatever, or I kind of want to pry, feel like I'd like to know who I'm throwing in with, and I don't know anything about you, and you don't know anything about me, so...
I take it you heard of the situation at the Needle, which persisted for some time?
The Needle. That's, he just kind of, you see him almost by reflex, slip back into his Daunt persona. That's where we all met, you know. The original lineup of the Crown Collectors. And he just kind of walks away, and it looks like he looks out the window and his golden eyes start to glow slightly. That's where all this started. The Needle. It was nice back then. How was it when you saw it?
Overrun with undead, so probably less pleasant than your own memories.
And he kind of shifts his gaze a little and says, "Times do change. We all change." And he's going to turn and shift again into a different form. And you feel not an intrusion into your mind, but a grasping of the surface thoughts. You definitely feel like he is hitting you with the first level of detect thoughts, which, you know, it's only going to get your emotional state. Nothing more than that, which you don't need to give permission for that. What would you say he gleans from you?
I mean, Iona's sort of... Her state is that she's just sort of psyched herself up to write to her grandmother to admit that she killed her aunt. You know, she just had to psych herself to write to a woman and say, you know, in a sideways sort of way, yes, I did kill your daughter. And also sort of throw in this, oh, and by the way, I've sort of become someone now, someone who's recognized, someone who's important, and so she's still sort of in the aftermath of having psyched herself up for that difficult letter.
Yeah.
This man, she doesn't know him. She's inclined to trust him the way that she is inclined to trust the Crown Collectors, but detect thoughts on an emotional state will make her feel slightly uneasy, just because she doesn't like anyone just crying straight out without asking her to get that sort of thing from her.
Well, he rolled pretty good on insight. He's going to kind of get a read on your reaction, and you notice him back off. He takes a half a step back and says, "It's hard to trust these days," and you see his vision, or his visage shift again. No matter who we portray ourselves to be, and he assumes the form of a very trim male elf. High ears, long brown hair, sharp thin eyebrows, sharp cheekbones, about your height. No one you've ever seen before. And he just kind of crosses the room and looks around and says, "Sometimes we try to hide who we are. We never really succeed, do we?" And his clothes kind of have like a long, flowy robe kind of look to them. You definitely recognize he's wearing glamour clothing, just like what you have. And his clothes sort of adopt this higher, elitist sort of very, very fine filigree robing. And he's just going to kind of sit at a table, and looks like he pulls a bottle of wine from a satchel, and he sees a couple of silver tankards on the hearth, and he goes, "How fortuitous. Care to join me while we swap war stories? I could tell you a thing or two about my time with the Crown Collectors that maybe you've never heard before." And he pours both cups.
Okay, I mean, Iona will share the wine with him, first of all because she's ingested enough poison in her life that she's, she takes an automatic, first tiny sip to just test it out, just because she has been taking an automatic first tiny sip her whole life.
Yeah.
And will sort of, swirl around her mouth, or, she doesn't even think it's poisoned. She just automatically checks for poison in anything that she hasn't made herself. And, she's not interested in getting drunk just because she doesn't really lower her inhibitions that much, but she is okay with, having a glass of wine, getting a little buzzed, but not drunk. So she is okay with sort of sharing the wine.
Mm-hmm.
Hearing some stories.
Make a Constitution saving throw. After all that.
Make a con save. Is this against getting poisoned, or is this against getting drunk?
Well, you've taken one sip, so give me a con save.
Wow, what con save? Oh my! Wow, and it's a natural one. This is
wow. That's 2 ones in a row. So, all right. First of all, it's a really good red. It's really bold and rich and smooth. It has a nutty and oaky effervescence to it. It's got a beautiful rosé nose. It tingles the nostrils. You do not get any whiff of poison other than the alcohol contained therein, which everyone knows it is a poison. And but the wine is merely a lubricant for this miniature social interaction. Now, you guys are not at a tiny little French boutique table. There is a kind of a large sort of seated table that straddles the hearth, and you're sitting in one chair, and on the other side of the table, Daunt nurses his wine glass, and this visage of him is much more attractive to you, and you look definitely down this glass as, maybe put a little more in there. And he picks up on that and instinctively reaches over and puts a little more in your glass. Well, tell me, Iona, what have you done to earn the Crown Collector's favor, and I'll tell you mine. And as you think of something to say, your heart flutters unexpectedly, just a little. Bogey and Steph.
Yes.
Yes.
You want to try giving me control again and see if this works now?
No, I haven't. There's nothing else I can do.
Well, no, I switched over to Chrome.
Okay, all right.
Steph still has control over.
Are you able to move her? I mean,
no, because Steph still has control over her.
No, you've got it too.
I have it too.
That's the thing that's weird is you have it as well.
No, I don't. Okay.
Okay. Well, either Maven or I can move her where you want. You've got her stats. Let's see the turn order here, and you've rolled initiative. You're at the other end of this circle. Your first mission on your own with your friend and partner Maven is you leave tonight, and hoping to pack a little training in. Let's see. What am I doing? Yeah, you are first. You got a 25 in the initiative. So, what do you wish to do?
All right, I'm going to first. Okay, I'm gonna first cast darkness centered.
I feel it.
Huh?
Fuck you.
Centered right here.
Okay.
So I believe that's 15 feet in either direction.
Let me go ahead and put that down. 15 feet in any direction, or 15 foot total?
15-foot radius.
Jesus Christ. Okay, so the whole frickin' circle is now dark.
Pretty much. just put a circle.
No.
No.
It's dark, goddammit.
Oh, okay. Well, all right, fine.
And how about that?
All right, that's fine. And I'm gonna
fix it. It's probably not actually 15. Let me fix it. Go ahead.
Okay, and then I'll move to right there. If one of you two would like to be there.
There.
Right next to you.
Uh-huh.
There you go. And I'm gonna swing away, and since it is a darkness, and we're both at disadvantage, so the plague.
Your favorite, blind fighting.
Yeah.
Yeah. My favorite terrain.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All right. So let's see if this works. Going from. No, that should have rolled at disadvantage. Why is it rolling so goddamn slow? I'm just gonna roll.
Maybe it's your internet. Maybe your internet sucks.
Literally, like the die on Roll20 and D&D Beyond was rolling in slow motion. Okay, I'm gonna roll 2 D20s. So that's 10 is the low, and so that'd be a 20 to hit.
That hits.
Okay.
All right. So in this darkness, what do you whisper to your partner as you strike her?
It's like, let's see how the sunflower does in darkness. And that's going to be. This is flurry of blows, by the way, because darkness was an action.
Okay. Gotcha. Now I know what that question was about.
It was more of a statement than a question.
Uh-huh. Okay, Easter egg. Let's go.
Alright, so that's a D10. So first strike is 8 points of damage. Second strike. That one misses, I'm guessing. 13.
Yep, miss.
And third strike. Probably.
Damn.
Damn. Miss.
You cast dark. You're casting darkness.
No, the playing field is
now
even.
now nobody can hit each other.
This is a test.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
So,
That's my turn.
okay, so I'm going to also do a couple unarmed strikes. 26 to hit.
That's a disadvantage.
I rolled an 18 and a 16, okay?
All right, that hits.
And one more time.
So she's getting all the good rolls. Aha, I see.
And a 17.
That misses.
Okay.
And I'm going to deflect attack.
7 points.
Okay. Well, I easily outdo that, so.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to redirect the attack back at you.
Okay.
Which you have
I've
to pass
never...
like a DC 17 dex save. I think you can do that yourself.
Well, yeah, probably. Yeah, that's a 28.
Yeah, that passes. Okay. I still deflected, though. Take no damage.
Okay. Then I'm going to also flurry of blows and take 3 strikes. Advantage.
I didn't know if you remember. I also didn't know if you remembered that flurry of blows for level 15 was 3 strikes.
I do.
Yep.
Vividly.
Oh yeah.
14, 25, 23.
25 and 23 hit.
So that'll be 14 and 10. So
24? Okay.
24.
He's pretty tough, man.
Yeah.
As you enter this this sphere of darkness that you've cast to see if she can function when one sense is taken, you throw a couple punches at her that kind of all hit air. It seems like she missed, or you missed your target, but not enough to get given the slip as she goes to strike you, and you can almost hear her fists coming. You grab her by the wrist, you bend her at the elbow, and you try to force her into a roll, and she flips out of it.
Okay.
Landing a couple of blows of her own. You taste a little blood in your teeth.
Alright.
It is your turn.
Alright. I will reply back with unarmed strikes.
Yeah, first of all, Maven, do you want to move? Because you could without an opportunity of attack. Because none of you can see each other.
And I use my reaction.
Oh, yeah, I totally forgot.
Yeah.
Sure, I don't really know if I need to measure, but I will.
You could move anywhere on this map with your
I
movement.
could move anywhere on the map.
You could just leave.
I could just walk away, and I walk away.
You could leave and come back.
Yeah, I'm just gonna... I'm just gonna run out into the light.
Disrupt the entire temporal line of history.
Yep.
All right, you emerge from the sphere and you look back and you can see where Lorexina is, probably. And it's a big, empty sphere of blackness.
Void. And I'm gonna yell, "Come on! Come back out into the light! You know you want to."
Okay.
You're up, Lorexina.
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 Yes. Okay. Should have done this from the beginning. Alright. I'm going to drop the darkness. And cast Bane.
That's probably a good idea. Suck! I love it. I have a love-hate relationship.
It's probably the best saving throw I can get out of you, so.
It's so
you have
good.
to beat a 17 charisma.
Ooh, okay, probably.
Damn.
Ha! 21!
Alright. I'll move right here.
Okay.
And then I will spend another key point or focus point, whatever it is, to do flurry of blows again. This time with no.
Don't cast magic on me.
Yeah, she's not a fan of that. Never has been.
You must be ready for anything.
Oh my god.
We're going into
your
a very
pearls of
dangerous place.
wisdom.
Okay, fine.
All right, first attack, 17 to hit. Probably doesn't hit.
Yes, my armor class of 18, just so that we're both aware.
17 again. All right, 22.
That'll hit. That'll hit.
Okay. And I believe I can do this. Where is it? I didn't know I saw it here somewhere. Oh, no, okay. Alright. D10 plus 5. I thought I could do something else, but I need to do something first. A whole whopping 6 points of damage.
I'm just gonna take the 6 points.
Okay.
Everybody's rolling ones. Stop rolling ones. It's not cool.
I'm telling you, the roll 20 hates us.
It does. There's some kind of... This is what I don't trust about digital dice. There's some algorithmic glitch going on.
I don't.
Because she's rolling over here, rolling over 20s, and I'm rolling 17.
Yeah.
Okay. That's my turn.
Yeah.
I rolled like 4 6s last game, okay?
Mm-hmm. Maven, Lorazina kind of flips around you as she pops out of this sphere of disappearing darkness, lands on the other side of you, misses a couple strikes, and as you kind of are watching her fists and her legs, her other hand is, you get distracted and she pops you right in the nose. What do you do?
She kind of laughs and is like, man, why are you so serious? And I'm gonna take a few unarmed strikes at her. 17.
Misses.
22.
Hits.
29.
Hits.
Yeah.
11 and 10.
I'll deflect the 11 and take the 10.
Okay.
Yeah, this time, Lorazina, you get...
That was 3. I'm sorry. I'll just take I'll just do the flurry of blows and do 2 more and just call it.
Yeah, 2 more. Okay.
I did too many. Yeah, I apologize.
No, you're good.
I'm sorry. Okay, I'm sorry. 24 and 18.
Misses.
Damn.
How is yours higher than mine? Whatever.
My wisdom is 18.
10 more points.
Okay. So 20,
serious.
20 more. Okay. All right.
Blow for blow, you guys trade.
Oh,
she goes for a knee strike. You grab it with your hand and try to spin her around, and as you do, she extends her other leg and cracks you in the side of the head. You are able to kind of push that aside and slip and do kind of a half tumble as you kick her in the shin and flip around and kick her again in the back of the head. You guys, square off once again. And Koza and Neela in the tree house room are face to face with this horrendous monster, which is going to continue to fill up this room. You can see that it is growing in size. Neela is going to reach into her dress, and you see, Koza, her pull out this little kind of a darkened roasted acorn, and she kind of like blows into it, and you see it spark with a little bit of green energy, and she tosses it at the plant monster for that's a 13. That is not going to hit. So it crumbles on the ground in front of this creature, and you see a little bit puff of green smoke emerge. She goes, "Oh, damn it, I missed. Sorry, Dad."
That's all right. Cover your ears, and I'm going to pad for the dead.
Okay. It is completely unharmed, so it's not. You don't get the D12. But Let's have a plant monster. I made a wisdom?
Yep.
Okay, I got a natural 19, so that's a 14.
Yeah. 14, I think.
Yeah.
Failed. I'm pretty sure 13 failed.
Yeah, you've got to have a... So what's your spell save? It's got to be at least 16, right?
I'm going my spell. Oh, yeah, that failed. We got a 16.
Okay. Roll your damage. Is that a D10 or a D8?
D8, I think. Yeah,
Okay.
2D8. No. It's 3D8, actually.
Ooh.
We're all interrupted by the sound of a huge thong. Oh, what the fuck going on in there?
Alright, 14 points of necrotic damage.
Okay. Damn. You just watch its leaves curl in slightly as black veins race across its flesh, and definitely, Iona, you sitting at your table, you hear this loud gong through several feet of walls of the keep. On the other side of the keep, you hear this shaking, and Daunt just kind of looks at you and just says, "Whew, they're into it, aren't they?" It is the creature's turn.
I'm not done.
Oh, you're not done. Sorry, go ahead.
I'm gonna summon my spiritual weapon, and it's gonna get an attack.
All right. Can you get that out?
No. It's like my freaking...
Here you go.
I'm just gonna put it right... You said it's 4x4?
At this moment, it is. It looks like it's getting bigger.
Alright, well, I'm gonna put it right in front and start hacking.
Oh, okay.
Melee spell attack. So
The shadow big can of Roundup.
Oh, you motherfucker. Never mind. It's the plant turn.
Why do the dice gods hate you today? This was supposed to be just a fun session. The plant is going to use its engorge feature and grow a whole 5 feet size.
Does it push my spiritual weapon back?
No, it kind of envelops it. Like it grows around, like vines keep their distance from it, about 5 feet. So you could imagine there's a void in there where this thing is able to move around, but only in the space. Because I can't grapple a spiritual weapon, that's not a thing, so it just grows around it, like a Groot sphere. It's going to lash out with 4 tendrils, 2 at Koza, 2 at Neela. Koza, the first one hits you for a 25, the second one hits you for a 19.
Yeah, it did.
Yeah, so I need you to make a strength saving throw as it grasps you with these thorned, stinging vines.
Okay, that's not terrible.
Okay, you are not grappled. However, it does 15 points of bludgeoning damage as it slaps you, and every one of these tendrils is lined with thorns with like this weird pink dew in droplets clinging to each of the thorns, and as soon as it rakes across your skin, you feel this intense searing heat. So you take 15 points of bludgeoning and 5 points of poison damage.
Wow.
Now it's going to go after Neela. It's going to do the same thing. It's going to get a 25 with her. Damn. And wow, it's also going to get a 21. Those are both going to hit. It's going to do 13 points of bludgeoning damage. And she is definitely, hopefully, not going to fail. She failed her strength save, so she is grappled. We'll consider her prone. She can't move. And she's going to also take double ones. Whew, 2 points of poison damage as this plant creature struggles with the both of you. And it looks like it's also reaching out in all directions, too.
Whose turn is it? Is it my turn?
it is her turn. She's going to try to break free, but everything she touches, she got a natural 2. She's stuck. She's getting wrapped up in these vines. Koza, so you are next.
All right, hold it in.
All right. Wisdom save from it is, wow, it got a natural 17, so that's a 12.
Yeah, so that's 3d12 right in its face.
Now you do get to use them 12s. 17, all right. Once again, and Iona, this time, you've gotten kind of into, as deep into your stories as you wanted to, talking about, your time with the Crown Collectors, and Daunt got to a point where he's talking about, descending into a wizard's dungeon, and just then, boom, another toll, and you know what this is, and it's like, what is going on in Koza's room? We move back over to... Well, actually, let's dip into what Kravish is up to. Kravish, you stand at the top floor of the war room. You've just heard a couple of very deep bells going off in the direction of Koza's room.
Uh-huh.
Not exactly sure what the deal is there, but you imagine it's maybe some sort of religious ceremony between the druids.
Okay.
You got about an hour until dinner.
Yeah.
What would you like to do with yourself?
Well, first, with 2 big old bells like that, I'm like, let me go check on those folks. Let me see what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to make my way over to Kravish, not my room, Koza's room.
Koza's Cozy Sanctuary.
Koza's Sanctuary, yep. And I'm going to knock on that door, going like, guys, everything all right?
Wait a minute!
I need you to make a strength saving throw, Kravish.
Saving throw, okay. For just knocking on the door?
Yep.
+1 to my save, right?
Strength save of 17. That's going to be enough. As you knock on the door, instantly a handful of slithering green vines shoot between the boards of the door and grasp at your hands and your hand and your wrist, and you're able to pull away. But each of those tendrils was covered in sticky thorns, and you felt it scratch your scales as you jerked your wrist away. You take 3 points of poison damage, and more of these tendrils look like they're snaking out from under the door. Seems like something is blocking this door from being opened, and you're not sure if... Go ahead and roll an insight check, because you're not sure if this is sort of his defense mechanism for his security system, or if Koza's in trouble.
Nat 20 for a 32.
Yeah, this is not normal. Koza's not someone who he's not someone who casts an alarm or a security camera. Yep. He's got an open door policy, so this is not cool. This is not good.
Yep. Everyone to arms. Something's wrong in Koza's room.
Iona, and you hear this. Daunt is going to jump to action, and you see him kind of he balls up his fists, and when he releases his hands, this dark energy kind of dances between his fingers. He goes, right, looks like it's go time, and he's going to dive into the hallway.
Yeah, I'm going right after him. Like, I've used Toll the Dead enough times in my life to know what it sounds like, and that plus Kravis's shout. I'm going after them.
Yeah. Maven, you also hear from somewhere in the castle as you are kind of traversing the halls, thinking about this interaction that you had with Laura Xena. You hear a call to arms somewhere upstairs. Or no, you're in Kermish's room, so you're right across the hall.
It's my room.
Yeah, your room. My bad.
But I'll also head on over and be like, what the hell is going on?
All of you gather in the central hallway where your dorms are split off from, as well as the war room. There's also a nice balcony you guys can look out onto the mountain pass from. You all just sort of meet in here at where this wall is of vines that are now slowly slopping and sliming and growing and engorging and writhing from beyond this door. We end tonight's session with one last round in Maven's memory between Laura Xena and Maven. Laura Xena, you are first.
Sorry, I was muted. Okay. So I'm going to give Maven a little nod and be like, excellent.
Excellent.
We must be ready for anything in the Shadowfell. You've done well so far. And I will hit her with 5, just 2 regular, and then 3 for flurry of blows. I'll just roll 5 right now. Okay, so that's a nat 20.
Fuck off.
A 22, a 13 misses, a 24, and a 27.
Yeah, only the one misses.
Okay, so
Owie.
I'll deflect that that 20 there.
The crit.
Yeah, obviously.
Obviously the crit. Okay. Well, let me figure out what the crit damage is going to be. So, crits are double damage or just double dice?
Crit is you roll the dice, you double it, and add your mods.
Okay. 4. 9 points for the crit.
Okay.
Not sure if you
That's
want
done.
it. Huh?
That's fine. I already said I was gonna do it, so.
Okay. All right. So I need to pass what a DC 17.
16.
16. Okay.
Yep.
I think it's like, what's my modifier for that? What is it? A dex save?
Dex save, yeah.
Okay. Cool beans. I get a 16. Okay. Okay, so it's 22. 6 points of damage.
Jesus Christ.
24. 7 points of damage.
Yeah. You raise
There we go. It's 13.
You try to strike her with your elbow. She blocks your elbow. You strike her with your knee. She pushes your knee away. You get a good strike against her jaw. She sweeps the leg. You guys go tit for tat, blow for blow, block for block, until you kind of lock arms.
I'm going to take a step back.
All right.
Best idea. Oh wait, I'm moving you. I apologize for my lateness.
Yeah, you're
That's not safe!
I was gonna say she runs up on you to do the same.
You can take an up attack as I moved away.
Oh, true. 27.
That hits.
10 points of damage.
Alright, I'll take it.
Yeah.
Then 25.
Hits.
27.
Hits.
So that'll be 15 and 9.
Misses.
And then for the
9?
15 and 9. Oh, yes, I can.
What do you mean?
No, 9. No, 15 points of damage. 9 points of damage.
To deflect to 15.
Okay.
Monks, man.
Monks, man. And then 17. 17 doesn't hit. 25 does.
Yes.
24 does.
Yes.
So 10 points and 7 points.
10 points and 7 points. Okay. You have to make a DC 17 dex save.
Okay, DC 17 dex save. 22.
That passes, obviously.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Go ahead, Jeff.
As you guys trade blow for blow, it becomes a whirling dervish of fists and feet and fury. And as Lorazina, cocky in her ways, throws one last strike at you, you catch her arm and are able to twist her almost all the way around. Lorazina, you sort of lose your footing, and you kind of have control of her. What do you do, Maven? Just to maybe teach her a lesson.
I'm going to try to hit her and push her.
Mm-hmm.
Makes sense. I got 5 feet that
Yep.
I can use let me scroll to the right thing. That'll be 27.
That definitely hits.
Lorazina, you feel your feet. You feel your feet leave the ground, and you know Maven has you by the wrist. She spins you around, and you see this look in her eye with a subtle wink as she spins around and kicks straight into your gut, just enough 5 feet away where you find yourself over the cliff's edge. And just as you start to fall, you look at her, and she's giving you a look like, there's your ready, bitch. And just as you descend beneath the clouds, you give her a wink. And Maven, your passive insight tells you there's something you don't know.
Fuck
And
you.
Lorazina,
Ow.
she disappears beneath the clouds below. And that is where we're going to end the session.
Fabulous. Great.
Y'all are really enjoying beating the shit out of each other.
It's how we show love. We don't know how, we don't have emotional regulation.
Married life, man.
Yeah. So, that is where we will leave it. The Crown Collectors set to deal with whatever the hell's going on in Koza's room at the start of next session. We'll finish out the next 2 days at the Keep, and with whatever preparations you guys would like to make, and we will see where that takes us next time.
To meet the parents.
Yeah, we get to have a dinner session.
Guess who's coming to dinner?
That is going to be November 1st. I'm already doing a Halloween-themed session with another party, and I feel like, I don't know, doing Halloween after Halloween's over is a little tacky, so we're going to keep it in line with what's going on. That was a lot of fun, you guys. I'm really excited for next session and seeing doing some role play with Kravish's parents.
Hi, Mom.
Yeah,
Yay!
I'm excited. I get to put on my mom
She
pants.
looks like a demon. It'll go away. Don't worry
So
about it. It's fine.
temporary.
This is
Yeah.
temporary.
Yeah, I want time to meet the parent.
Oh yeah, Iona gets to meet the parents too.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Yep.
Oh yeah,
there are some of you.
I'm Iona. Where did I come from? What did I do before I joined the Crown Collectors?
Everyone's like, how circumspect do I need to be?
Yeah.
Oh, I was just around, a little bit of this, a little bit of that.
Look at that.
I got ousted by a death cult, Debbie Downer. Yeah. But no, I want to hear it. I want to hear all about it. We'll get into all of that next time. But that was a lot of fun, you guys. I'm glad that I like the direction things are going. You guys are throwing me loops left and right, and I'm just trying to keep up with the story. So, good job, everybody.
Did not
And
get arrested or killed.
Yeah, you didn't get arrested or killed. Like Ellie said, it's always a good part of the day when you can go home and not be dead.
Mm-hmm.
So, all right, y'all. We'll see you next time.
All right, guys.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye.